The following is a special presentation of the Arena Sports Network. Welcome to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. Today's game features the Madison College Wolfpack and the Kankakee Community College Cavaliers. Today's game is driven in part by Sowers Ford of Michigan City. And now, let's head to the broadcast booth with the voices, Mark Farina and Brian Snow. A pleasant good afternoon to one and all. In the region, across the nation, and around the world, we welcome you to Schaumburg, Illinois, and Boomer Stadium for the final day of the World Series qualifier from here at Boomer Stadium. It could be a single game. It could be a doubleheader. The Wolfpack and Madison Community College are undefeated. Kankakee Community College are hanging on. If Madison wins, they clinch. If not, we go to a deciding game tonight. Brian Snow joined by my partner in crime, Mark Farina. And Mark, what a great 3 days it has been out here in Schaumburg.
And it's appropriate that the third day, the championship day for these two teams, is the best of the weather days. It is absolutely gorgeous. Finally, a legitimate spring day here in Chicago. And the dimensions of this ballpark, of course, patterned after the friendly confines of Wrigley Field. And the wind is blowing out. Not quite, let's say, the wind speed of down near the lakefront, but that could be an interesting factor, especially against a pretty powerful hitting team in Kankakee Community College. But Madison obviously has other thoughts in mind.
They really do. They want to take care of business right now, and they have been on such a tear. They won their first game 12-0 on Friday, and they won yesterday over these same Cavaliers by a final of 12-4. They did that in 7 innings. But give kudos to the Cavaliers for the comeback win last night, down 6-0 to Blackhawk College. They scored the last 7 runs in the game. They pick up the game winner in the 8th inning, and they win 7-6, and that's why they're here this afternoon.
Well, it's like they always say, you play all the innings or all the minutes in different sports, all the quarters, all the halves, because they don't award the winner after the first inning. And we've seen that, obviously, all the years we've watched baseball countless times. And sometimes that's when you get out to a quick lead, you get a little bit complacent. And sometimes from a batting standpoint, you suddenly go cold when you were red hot in the first inning or the second inning, and then you suddenly it's like you took the gas pedal away completely. And that's exactly what happened to Blackhawk in that game. It looked like they were going to run away, win it, but here comes Kankakee, and they come back and win in extra innings. And
taking a look at Madison, we had a chance to see them as they opened the tournament on Friday, and their pitching was every bit as dominant as we had talked about.
It is, and it's an interesting team because you're looking at obviously record-wise virtually identical teams. Madison coming into today's game with an overall record of 41-15, while Kankakee comes in with a record of 41-20-1. They played a few more games. The weather being as lovely as it has been this spring has been certainly a key factor there. But when I look at certain stats, a couple things kind of stick out that you wonder if they'll play a role in this game, and that would be the fact that Kankakee Community College, as a team, has hit 26 home runs. They've got 4 players that have hit 4 or more home runs on the season, including Eric Phillips, who leads the team in runs batted in with 70. He's had 6 home runs. But then you look at Madison College, and at least on paper, from a power standpoint, they only hit 3 home runs during the season. Will that play a factor? I don't know, because I think Madison's starting pitching, as you pointed out, is stellar, and we're going to see another really good pitcher on the mound today in Dan Schmidt, who comes in with a record of 6-2 and a 3.26 earned run average. So they've got one of their aces.
When we come back, we'll take a peek at how these teams got here, and we'll get you ready for some championship baseball. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network. It's driven by Sowers Ford.
Have you heard the good news? about a company that started 4 years ago and worked at a relentless pace based entirely upon one simple premise? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news that you yourself can share stories about this same theme to others in your community? That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can celebrate a company that had a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people. At LaPorteCountyLife.com, you can go to a place to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region that you live in and the people involved. Want to see more? Want to read more? Want to hear more? Then go to LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news? Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
Brian and Mark back here at Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and Mark has a peek at how these teams got here, Mr. Farina.
Well, on Friday, the day that was delayed because of that lovely snowstorm that we had, I won't even call it a storm, but snow showers that we had in the morning, Madison defeated Prairie State by a final score of 2-0 in that first game.
Wow. I made a mistake and said 12. I'm sorry.
But that's okay. And in the second game that day, it was Kankakee defeating Blackhawk 5-3. Kankakee, the number 2 seed in this tournament. Madison, the number 1 seed. Now, following that, on Saturday, Madison beat Kankakee, so we got a rematch coming up today. Madison defeating Kankakee 12-4. That game was called after 7 innings for the mercy rule, if you will. And then Kankakee had to come right back that night, and as we pointed out, they came from behind to defeat Blackhawk by a score of 7-6. So it matches up Madison and Kankakee today. Both teams with 41 wins on the season. Very, very impressive. They are not sleepers by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
The difference is Kankakee's played a few more ball games, having lost 20 total, while Madison's lost 15.
Well, let's send a couple thank yous out. The first one I'm going to send out is to our good buddy Tim McKinney, who helped Arena Sports get this exclusive rights to these games. Eric Gustafson has been wonderful on the field for us. You, my friend, thank you very much with everything that you've done, and all the staff here, Wally Reynolds, the rest of the gang here. Boy, it's been fun the past 3 days.
It certainly has, and I've really been very impressed by the show that's been put on by the folks here with the region and with the NJCAA. It's been great, and of course the folks here at Boomer Stadium, they did a remarkable job getting that field ready for the first game
did they ever.
On Friday, and now they're getting repaid with this beautiful weather today. By the way, and this is something that I think is important, what I have been really impressed by is the number of coaches that are in this tournament that, I mean, are downright legendary or incredible records that we've had. I mean, we saw, of course, and I think appropriately, yesterday in Dave Randall of Waubonsie Valley Community College capturing the title in Division II, which they'll go, of course, to Enid, Oklahoma for the World Series. A guy who's won over 900 games and a legend, and he beat a pretty fair, coach in Joliet Junior College's coach as well. So I think that's been one of the impressive things is the quality of the teams and the programs that we've seen here. This is high caliber baseball programs that have developed quite a few pro baseball players and players that have gone on to Division I and other levels of college baseball.
And Both teams have been absolutely terrific. They're getting ready to line up for the anthem, so we are going to pause. When we come back, we'll give you the lineups in the first pitch. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier. It's on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Do you suffer from severe chronic pain caused by a back or neck injury, migraine headaches, or a work injury? Take heart. Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist is the region's leading provider of minimally invasive, non-surgical pain treatments. For more than a decade, physicians and patients in Munster, Dyer, East Chicago, Hammond, Hobart, Merrillville, St. John, and Valparaiso have turned to Miss First for effective relief of even the most severe and painful conditions. Our board-certified fellowship-trained experts use a wide range of minimally invasive techniques to dramatically relieve your pain. In fact, for more than a decade, Miss Specialists have been first to deliver proven effective treatment innovations for spinal pain and other conditions to patients throughout northwestern Indiana. For more information, pay us a visit at 8840 Calumet Avenue, Suite 103 in Munster, or give us a call at 219-836-7246. The Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist, first in proven pain solutions, first in patient care.
Along with Mark Farina, Brian Snow back here with you, and you ready, partner?
I'm ready. Let's saddle it up and go.
Let's do this. It's now time for our Subway starting nine as we get ready for Championship Sunday. The Cavaliers line up like this, as they've done all weekend. Leading off in left field is Nick Ulrey. Batting second, playing second base is Calvin Thong. Batting third, playing third base is Ryan Mountcalm. Batting fourth at first base is Zach Barkdale. Eric Phillips bats fifth. He'll be in center field. John McLaughlin bats sixth, and he'll catch. Keel Torkelson bats seventh in right field. Jake Lane bats eighth. He's the designated hitter. And Jeff Cardenas bats ninth. He will be at short. Through the lineup again, Ulrey, Thong, Montcalm, Barkdale, Phillips, McLaughlin, Torkelson, Lane the DH, and Cardenas. That's your Subway starting nine, brought to you by Subway of Schaumburg. Don't forget to try a $3 lunchtime combo. That's only $3 from Subway of Schaumburg, where winners eat. Here's Mark with the defense.
Left to right, the defense looks like this for the Madison Wolfpack, the number one seed in this tournament. It'll be in left field, Courtney Watkins. The center fielder is Keith Browning, and over in right field is Luke Syons. Your infield third to first around the horn. Luke Yap will be over at third. The shortstop is Brandon Gibbous. Over at second base is Sam Hurt. And your first baseman is Mike Jordal. And your battery today of starting pitcher Dan Schmidt. And his catcher today is Danny Kraus.
Wolves in the home white uniforms with the silver numbers and lettering trimmed in navy blue. The Wolf Pack. Get that name correctly.
And, of course, the stats on Dan Schmidt, the lefty, 3.26 earned run average. He's 6-2 coming in, having appeared in 10 games, 8 of which were starts. He has one complete game, pitching 49 and two-third innings pitch. He's given up 52 hits, 25 runs, 18 of which were earned. He has struck out 6, but this is the key stat. He has walked 6, however, and struck out 41. That's a terrific ratio if you'll ever see one.
That's a crazy ratio.
And, He's pitched very well, needless to say.
And here we go. Ulrey steps into the right-handed batter's box as Dan Schmidt rocks, kicks, fires. Fastball, up ball one. Off we go at exactly 3:30 Central Daylight Time. First pitch temperature, a beautiful 69 degrees.
Dan Schmidt.
1-0 is a strike. Right down the middle. Counts even 1-1.
He's a sophomore from Heartland, Wisconsin. Arrowhead High School in Heartland, Wisconsin.
1 ball, 1 strike as Schmidt kicks and deals. Fastball strike, and the count's now 1-2.
As we get a plane flying over from Schaumburg Municipal Airport, which is just a few hundred yards away from here.
1-2 pitch. Ground ball headed to short. Oh, what a stop! The throw is...
I think
we didn't get a signal, but he beat it out.
He beat it out, and the first baseman on the long stretch couldn't
pick it up.
But still a great stab and play by Brandon Gibbous, diving practically behind second base to pick up the ball, and he had a pretty good throw, but not quite in time.
That's how we start here in Schaumburg. Calvin Thong now steps to the plate in the right-handed batter's box to face Schmidt. As Schmidt takes a look at first, Ulrey off the base in the pitch. Bunt popped high in the air, foul. And the count's 0-1.
Thong is a local boy. He's from Wheeling, Illinois. A sophomore. And I believe that Thong is the shortened version of his name, which I don't think
I'm not even going to try.
I think a long...
This is one of the few names
Thai or Indonesian name.
0-1 pitch. Bunted at and missed for strike two. The count's 0-2.
I saw it on the stat sheet for the NJCAA. I wasn't even going to try.
That's all I need to know.
Thank you for shortening your name for broadcast and statistic purposes.
Yes. 0-2 the count. Nobody out. Ulrey away at first. Off to a big lead. And Dan Schmidt will give him a look. That's the toss over to first.
Thong, by the way, Thong batting .310. He's one of a total of 9 players on their team. Actually, 11 total that are batting over 300. I mean, virtually their entire starting lineup is batting over 300, except for one.
Again, a throw down to first. And now Ulrey shortens his lead as Schmidt comes set, works third base side of the rubber, and comes home. Fastball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
The Madison program, generally the more successful of the programs. Mike Davenport has done an incredible year in his 10th season at Madison College in Wisconsin.
1-2. Fastball high and outside. The count's now 2-2.
And before he came to Madison and did the great job he's done there, he was a tremendous coach, a tremendous success over at Kishwaukee College out there in the DeKalb, Sycamore area. He's a Northern Illinois grad, by the way. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. The 2-2. Bouncing ball headed to third. Yep, up with it, fumbled it, has to hurry. He throws and he got him. 1 down in the first. It ate him up, but not enough for him to bobble it and not have to make the play. He had the wherewithal to, bobbled it, got it, threw him out. Already down to second with 1 out. And here is Ryan Montcalm hitting at .407 coming into today. 5 home runs. He's driven in 53. Leader on all counts. Ulrey at second, 1 down here in the top of the first. Schmidt gives him a look and comes home. He's got fastball 5. Striking the outside corner. The count's 0-1. He's got 5 home runs. Also with 5 are Zach Barkdole, and of course we pointed out Eric Phillips leads the team with 6 home runs and 70 runs batted in. 0-1 the count. 1 down here in the top of the first. Ulrey away at second. Schmidt gives him a double glance in the 0-1. Fastball high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Can't ask for a more beautiful spring day. No, you can't. Absolutely, right in the books. I'd like this weather year-round, personally, if I could have it. Kings and Hawks are now tied at 1 in the second period. It's a quick update we got for you as they started the Western Conference Finals today at the UC. Go Blackhawks. The 1-1. Swinging a slash foul to the left, and the count's 1-2. Had the hit and run going. If he hadn't made contact, I think the runner... Ulrey would have had third base stolen. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. 1 down here in the top of the first. Ulrey away at second, on an infield single. It'll be a battle of lefties today in this game. Out of the stretch. A glance to second again. The 1-2. Swinging a bouncing ball. Past third and into left field for a base hit. Ulrey got a late start. He'll have to put on the brakes. And now with 2 hits in the inning, runners hit the corners and 1 down, and the Cavaliers having an uprising early on. Solid single past the diving third baseman for the Wolfpack third baseman, Luke Yap. That'll bring the cleanup hitter, Zach Barkdole, to the plate. And Barkdole hitting at .355, 5 home runs. He's driven in 64. Yeah, he's a load. Those are major league kind of numbers. Oh, absolutely. Ulrey at third, and Montcalm on at first. He's got 14 doubles as well. First pitch outside, ball 1. They can hit. There's no question about it. They were held mostly in check by Madison in the second day of this tournament, but they can certainly hit. They play Barkdole to hit the other way, and they give him the left center field gap.
1-0 pitch. Bouncing ball right side. Second baseman up with it. That'll get a run home. Toss to first is in time. Ulrich scores. And it's 1-0 Cavaliers.
Nice piece of hitting by Barkdale. He gave himself up. Got to put it in the perfect spot to drive in the run. That is a lesson that a lot of hitters could benefit from, especially power hitters.
Going to bring Eric Phillips to the plate with 2 down. And Montcalm now at second base.
And he's having a tremendous season, Phillips.
Pitch to Phillips. Swinging a long fly ball to left. Left fielder circles under it. He makes the catch. And the inning is over. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. They leave 1. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Kankakee 1 and Madison coming to bat. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
Mark Vereen and Brian Snow back here with you as we get ready to go to the bottom of the first inning. Here's the Wolfpack lineup. Leading off, the catcher, Danny Krause. Batting second, Brandon Gibbous. He's at shortstop. In the third spot is Keith Browning. He's in center field. Luke Shetyer-Yap is batting fourth. He will be at third base. In the fifth spot is Dylan Deddard. He's the designated hitter. The sixth spot is occupied by Luke Syons. He's in right field. Sam Hurt bats seventh. He'll be at second base. Mike Jordahl bats eighth. He's at first. And in the ninth spot, Courtney Watkins in left field. That is your Subway starting 9, presented by Subway of Schaumburg. Don't forget to try on lunchtime 6-inch combo for only $3. Only at Subway of Schaumburg, where winners eats. We're going to have a third person in the booth here in just a moment. We'll tell you who that is. You should already know the answer to the question of who that is. But we'll get started here with Danny Krause getting set to stand in. And Mark will get us the defense in just a moment. The first pitch is low for ball 1. And the third person is here in the booth. Tim McKinney's in the house with us. What's up, Tim?
Brian and Mark, a pleasure to be with you once again. It's a beautiful day for a championship to be decided.
It sure is.
And about time.
Yeah, I'd say so.
We've been asking for it for the last couple of days. 2 balls, no strikes to count.
Yesterday was a pretty nice day. It was cool,
It was.
but it was
It got a little bit chilly that last game, Mark. It was a little chilly up here.
That's right.
Next
But
one's
still a nice day.
Next one's a strike. 2 balls and a strike, and the pitch. A swing and a line drive, base hit in the left field, and here they come.
Solid line drive single by Danny Krause to start it off.
Here's the defense for Kankakee.
Left to right in the outfield, it'll be Nick Ulrich in left. The infield in left, Eric Phillips is in center, and the right fielder is Kild Torkelson. The infield third to first around the horn, Ryan Montcalm at third. The shortstop is Jeff Cardenas. Over at second, Calvin Thong. And the first baseman is Zach Barkdale.
Out in front with a bunt. Pitcher gets to it, turns and throws to first in time. 1 down in the first, and tying run now at second base.
Good job by Brandon Gibbous laying it down and getting his runner over to second. And, of course, your battery today is left-hander Jimmy Brandt and his catcher is John McLaughlin. And Jimmy Brandt, as we pointed out, comes in with a 4.44 earned run average in 48 and 2/3 innings pitched. That was coming into the tournament.
Keith Browning now steps in, and he takes a strike, and the count's 0-1.
He has given up a total of 32 runs, 24 of which are earned, 57 hits, 11 walks, 35 strikeouts. Nice 3-to-1 ratio in strikeouts to walks.
Brandt sets at the chest in the 0-1. Fastball high, 1 ball, 1 strike.
But if there's one stat that kind of sticks out,
and that is?
He has given up 5 long balls, 5 home runs this year, leading the team in that category.
They play Browning to pull as they bunch him toward left field. And they're deep. The pitch. Strike called right down the middle. The count's 1-2.
Browning is, I would think if you want to use the term, he's the stud hitter for Madison. Leads them in most categories.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. Tying run at second. And the 1-2. Breaking ball outside, and the count's 2-2.
Browning batting .361 coming into today's game with 43 runs scored, 61 hits. He has 36 RBIs and the 1 home run, but he also has 4 triples.
This Madison
and
team,
if he gets on base, he's their biggest base-stealing threat by far.
This Madison team loves to pepper the ball all over the place. The pitch, a swing and a high fly ball headed toward left. Left fielder coming on. He's got it right toward the line. 2 down in the inning.
He hit it far, but mostly far up in the air rather than directional.
And it's a bit of a high sky with that sun. Not as bright as it was in the early morning session yesterday. That had a bit of a factor on a handful of plays early on.
Here is Luke Yep, one of our favorite names in the tournament this past weekend. And Yap in the right-handed batter's box. Brandt sets at the chest. And the pitch, a curveball strike.
Yap is from Verona, Wisconsin. He's a freshman and a fine-looking ball player. 1
strike to count, 2 down, tying run at second. Playing in the form of Danny Krause.
Yeah, playing the hot corner today.
The pitch, curveball missed low, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, we talked about the power of Kankakee's team in terms of home runs, but one thing about Madison, they've also got an equal number of players that are hitting over 300. So they may not overpower you in terms of the long ball, but they get on base and drive in runs.
Next one's outside.
And they did that in a big bunch yesterday against Kankakee, getting those 12 runs in a 3-inning span to win via the 8-run rule in 7 innings.
And Kankakee led that game 2-0. 2-1 the count. Out of the stretch, a double glance to second. The 2-1 is a breaking ball strike, and the count's even 2-2.
Madison has 8 players that are batting over 300, as compared to the 11 for Kankakee, 9 of which are starters.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Tying run at second. Double glance to second, the 2-2 pitch, way high and tight. The count goes full, 3-2.
It's always amazing when you see teams, good teams, and they don't have anybody batting over 300, or maybe just one guy.
And it just shows how both teams have been able to dominate it, and we saw what Kankakee was able to do offensively last night in that rally against Blackhawk.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
They had no hits the first 5 innings or 4 innings, and then ended up having 10 the rest of the way.
Is a swing and a high fly ball into right center field. Right fielder camps under it. Right in the sun. That allows a tying run to score. That's a base hit.
Just like you were saying. Yeah, that's going to go as a base hit.
I'm sorry I wasn't here for the keys of the game segment, but that was one of them right there.
Yeah, the weather is a factor, especially with the bright sunshine.
It is, and I noticed that yesterday because in the early games, that sun from the outfield just reflected straight here into the box. And the players had some difficulty yesterday at times, and there's the first look at it here. That gives Madison the tying run.
Dylan Deddard now steps in. He takes a fastball high for ball 1.
So we won't have a shutout. We won't have a no-hitter.
No, both of those have been canceled already. Yeah. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 down here in the bottom of the first at about 1-1 tie. And the pitch is a breaking ball strike on the inside corner. Counts even, 1-1.
Probably will end the shaving cream in the face after the game ceremony.
Somebody's going to get it.
Well, that still could happen because someone's winning a championship.
Somebody's going to get it. Next one, swinging a line drive headed toward right. Right fielder starts in. This time he makes the catch. Inning over. But Madison gets the equalizer. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the second, tied at 1 at the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, and it's driven by Sowers Ford.
Upgrade your ride and lower your costs with a certified pre-owned vehicle from Sowers Ford. With a lower price and lower payments, you can lower your cost of driving in a vehicle that's new to you. Get a 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, 172-point inspection, 24-hour roadside assistance, and 3 months of SiriusXM satellite radio. 2.9% financing available to qualified buyers. You'll drive for less at Sowers Ford. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381. Or visit us at SowersFord.com.
Before we get back to work here, an update from the United Center. The Blackhawks have regained the lead over the Kings. It's now 2-1 with 6 minutes to go in the second period. Along with Tim McKinney and Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you. We want to thank all the fans that have tuned in. There have been in excess of 750 fans that have tuned in this weekend for this tournament. We thank you. Amidst all of our technical difficulties, we got them corrected, and it's smooth sailing today along with the weather. Ready to go to the second, tied at 1. And how big was the weather a factor in the bottom of the first inning, Mark?
Well, the sun, especially because on the ball, it was hit high in the air, what looked to be a routine fly ball in the right center field. It completely blinded the right fielder, and he had no chance to make the catch. And Tim, you said it right there. You said it 2 seconds before about the sun factor.
Yeah, and that's just one thing, just being here the last few days, just realized here at this ballpark, and I couldn't quite tell Mark if he had sunglasses on or not. I don't think he did. He was just trying to shield himself with his visor of his cap, but those things happen.
John McLaughlin leads off the second inning by swinging at the first pitch and slashing it foul just out of the reach. First baseman Jordal.
McLaughlin's out of New Lenox. Not sure which high school, but he's from New Lenox.
I would imagine one of the Lincoln Ways, or maybe Providence.
That's true.
I'm guessing one of the Lincoln Ways.
I was out there recently. I've seen 2 of the Lincoln Ways.
Here's the pitch, swinging a little line drive headed toward left fielder.
Oh, he missed.
He slipped it. He nearly caught it, but it popped out of his glove at the last second. And McLaughlin will pull into second with a double. Let's see how they score that.
Well, I think that may be a hit. He
left
just had
fielder,
a bad read on it, Brian.
Yeah, left fielder Watkins came in. They did score that a hit. He nearly made a sensational catch, but it just popped out of his glove at the last second.
When it first came off the bat, I thought it was going to sail over his head, but he just mistimed it, and then by the time he recovered, lost his balance.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Kankakee looking to grab the lead.
And I don't think the field conditions should be that much of an issue today.
Keel Torkelson swings at the first pitch and fouls it back for strike 1.
I really don't think it was the field. I just thought he just lost his footing and just got all twisted around trying to locate the ball.
He judged one way and the ball went the other way.
We saw that earlier in the girls softball championship at the Noble Sports Conference today.
Yeah, we did. 0-1 the count. Nobody out. Go ahead, run at second. And the pitch on the way. Swinging the line drive headed toward right. Deep into right. That's going to drop and roll for a while. The Cavaliers will have the lead. McLaughlin rounds third, heads for home. Torkelson pulls into second. Back-to-back doubles. 2-1 Kankakee.
Well, back and forth we go. Kankakee, the early tally. Madison comes back with an answer. Now the Cavaliers quickly with another response. And Torkelson, he's had a nice couple of days. He's had some timely hits for the Cavaliers here. And RBI double, and they look to add and get more here. We'll see if this may be a bunting situation or will they hit away.
And both balls hit by McLaughlin and Torkelson were solid hits.
Jake Lane now stands in. A glance to second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball inside for strike 1.
Jacob, on the other hand, is all the way from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Not a surprise for someone from Kankakee. Usually they can get some players from Indiana.
Yeah,
not too far. Going straight down, up 74 from 57.
0-1 the count. And the pitch to Lane out in front of the plate with a bunt. Missed it, and the count's 0-2.
Well, he didn't show bunt the first time, guys, and then did show it there. Now we'll see what happens here, 0-2.
They've got a total of 6 players that are from Indiana that are on Kankakee's squad.
0-2 the count. Nobody out. Torkelson at second. The 0-2. Swing a line drive to right. Foul out of play.
And part of that, too, is because there really aren't any JUCOs for Indiana. There's really 2 of significance, Ancilla and then Vincennes.
Yeah, the JUCO system much better structured here in Illinois. A lot more choices.
0-2 the count.
Yeah,
A step off and a turn towards second, but no throw.
Yeah, you have 30 alone here in the northern half of Illinois, and then in Region 24 that represents Southern Illinois, you probably have about another 15 more schools.
0-2 the count. The pitch on the way. Fastball right down the middle. Missed it, and the count is now 1-2.
Tim, in our pregame show, I was pointing out how impressed I've been by, obviously, the whole tournament, but also the number of really quality teams and legendary coaches that we've got right here in Northern Illinois in the JUCO system.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that these coaches have been at it for a long time, and as time's called, Dave Randall and Wayne King going at it yesterday. That was a great moment, Brian.
Yes, it was.
To call that one. Again, congratulations to the Wabansie Chiefs on their win yesterday.
The kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss, and he is out. One down in the second.
Dropped third strike, but the catcher quickly picked it up and tagged Jacob Lane out.
Then you got Mike Davenport, who's coaching for Madison. He's been around for a long time. He was for many years at Kishwaukee.
Right.
Was an alum of Kish, coached them for many years. So there's a lot of tenure with the coaching staff here. A lot of baseball ties throughout the Region 4 in this tournament.
And Todd Post is not unfamiliar with 40-win seasons either.
No, he's not.
He's had a few of those over the years.
One out, one on here in the top of the second. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball right side. Second baseman up with it. A long throw. Got him. 1-2 down now as Jeff Cardenas is retired. And that'll turn the lineup back over to Nick Ulrey.
Terrific play by Sam Hurt in the hole at second base. Picks it up and has to make that quick but strong sidearm throw to first to retire Cardenas.
Nick Ulrey now stands in. He scored the first run of the game last inning. Schmidt gives a look and comes home. Fastball outside, ball one.
Ulrey got on, hitting a ball in the hole that was picked up by the shortstop, Brandon Gibbous, but his throw was a little bit low and a little bit late, but would have beat it out anyways.
Next one's a strike, and the count's even at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch, swinging a bouncer foul behind the plate, and the count is now 1-2.
And while we have a moment, Brian, also we got to give kudos to the Boomers and their grounds crew staff in particular. We've seen all 4 seasons here the last few days.
Yes, we have.
It's marvelous today.
Yes, we have. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The kick and the pitch. A swing and a bouncing ball up the third base line. Yep, gets it. Takes the throw, and he got him. And the inning is over. But 1 run, 2 hits, and Ulrey down after taking a tumble across first base.
Yeah, he tripped over the bag, and hopefully he's all right.
He's in pain.
Mess up his ankle.
He has not moved.
And this is going to be huge for Kankakee because also he's their catcher.
And their leadoff hitter. He's been every bit of their leadoff hitter all weekend.
And our trainer, Paige, from Harper College, who's worked the whole tournament, she's out there attending to him, and it doesn't look good.
It does not.
Yeah, and he's a guy who knows how to get on base and do something with it. He had 10 stolen bases this season in 11 attempts. So we'll keep it here for a moment. By the way, I just want, while we're talking about that.
Well, while we have a moment here, Brian, if we can, in between innings, we haven't had a chance to talk with our tournament director.
Then let's do that.
Athletic director at McHenry County College.
Then let's go out in the sun.
He's a longtime baseball guy. He coached at Morden. He knows the game very well. And we have Eric up above in the box with them right now. Eric, it's yours.
Thanks a lot, guys. I think it's because it's sunny today they left me in the box. There's no rain, but I get the chance to be here with Wally Reynolds. I know you as the athletic director, and I think the Hawks just scored again because I hear the horn, and that's supposed to happen here today. You have a lot of things that you do here, not only for McHenry County, but for the region as well. Let's kind of talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, one of my roles is as the assistant regional director for men's sports. Gary Huber out of Blackhawk is our regional director, and I'm the assistant. And when we decided to try to put this together and try to boost up the atmosphere for the regional championships for one of our sports, just as a test run, a trial run, we said, well, let's go with the baseball thing. So about a year and a half ago, we started meeting with the Schaumburg folks. we've had some meetings with our sports information people and our ADs and got the approval to go ahead, even though we didn't really budget all the expenses. And so far, I think, other than the weather being a little cool and rainy, and I shouldn't say snowy, but the first day was snowy, and I still blame that on Brian. But it was a good turnout, and I'll tell you, we have a really nice crowd here today. Probably the biggest crowd we've ever had for a regional championship game.
You got to love the weather. You talked about the first day. You know, Wally, you've made some predictions here this week, and a few people have had to work late because of some of these predictions. Day one, we had all kinds of dirt bags that was put on the field, obviously because of the snow and rain. And I know how you are with predictions. So first of all, let me get this prediction out of you. How many bags do you think they used?
Oh, on that first day? Probably 15 to 20, maybe 18 bags of drying compound.
It's a pretty good number. I actually have the answer, and I'll let these guys know it in between. But we got a batter here, so I'll take a little break, and you guys send it to me when you're ready.
Yeah, let's in between get Eric a little bit more of Wally here.
Yeah, we
Ryan.
will. We start the bottom of the second, 2-1 now in favor of Kankakee, lefty to lefty as Brant comes home upstairs. And the count's now 1-0.
Luke Science from Burlington, Wisconsin, a sophomore.
Science takes a strike and counts now even, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And, of course, he had that little adventure.
Science, Sam Hurt, and Jordal due up, and Science drills one into deep right field. The right fielder looks at it. It's over his head, and Science can run. He's making the turn around second and headed for third, and they're not going to catch him. He slides in with a leadoff triple. That ball was drilled.
Yeah, it was tattooed so badly. The right fielder for Kankakee just was twisted around, wasn't going to have a shot at it. And boy, oh boy, the offenses and the bats have come out here early on, haven't they?
Yes, they have.
By the way, good news, Nick Ulrey was back on up, and he was jogging off his whatever, maybe a little bit of a sprained foot or ankle, and he is back out in left field for the
That is great
for the
to
Cavaliers.
see. Now Sam Hurt takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. They're done with the second period at the UC, and the Hawks lead 2-1. They're getting outshot, though, 22-13. But they still have the lead. Here's the pitch. Fastball high and tight. 2 balls, no strikes.
We were listening to part of the first period on the way up here in our car, and they seem to have had the offensive edge early, at least in that game.
Mike Jordahl would be next. Brand out of the stretch, comes home. Inside corner strike with a fastball. It's 2-1.
Sam Hurt from Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He's a freshman. Diminutive, 5'7".
The next one, breaking ball outside, and the count is now 3-1.
Well, he's batting .328 on the season, and has 7 doubles and 3 triples.
Out of the stretch, the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. That'll put runners at the corners. So Sam Hurt aboard.
Tried to frame that breaking ball and missed outside, but the one thing we've had in this tournament consistently is that outside corner has not been generous for pretty much any of the pitching out there throughout.
We've seen that many times over. Got to bring in the 8th place hitter, Mike Jordahl, to the plate. And on the year, Mr. Jordahl hitting at .296. As Brant looks at first and comes home to Jordahl, he delivers a strike. Does Brant? And the count's on 1.
Now, Jordahl, on the other hand, he's 6'6". He's a big kid.
Wow.
He's tall. Has that kind of baseball basketball build.
Tying run at third. Go ahead, run at first. Nobody out. As Jordahl waits in the left-handed batter's box. How's that for imposing? Brant comes set at the chest. Look to first. The pitch way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jordahl, a freshman out of Portage, Wisconsin. They must feed him well up there.
They must.
He's a big young kid, let me tell you.
He's a big one.
He dwarfs you, practically.
I wouldn't be surprised.
How tall are you, by the way, Brian?
6'4.5".
Okay. I wasn't sure.
A ball, a strike, nobody out. They'll throw to first to check on Sam Hurt, and he gets back safely.
I always envy these guys who had height. You know, these guys who were 6'2", This guy's 6'6".
I didn't think I'd be 6 foot.
5'10", and I'm the tallest in my
I didn't think I'd be 6 foot. The 1-1, swinging a bouncing ball, headed to first. First baseman up with it. Race to the bag is on, and he made it.
No, he ruled him out.
Tying run scores, and it's tied at 2 with 1 out, and Sam Hurt now at second base.
But that was almost disaster for Kankakee on that play defensively.
Yeah, it was.
Give the RBI to Jordal.
So Jordal grounds out, picks up an RBI. Courtney Watkins now stands in. And for Mr. Jordal, that is his 15th RBI of the season.
And Sam Hurt on the plate moves over to second base with 1 out. So back and forth we go. Each team having scored a run in both the first and second innings so far.
Plenty of popsicle sticks on the board so far.
Yes. Plenty.
On this 74-degree afternoon in Schaumburg.
And there may be more.
I miss the good humor man. I haven't seen him very much.
I need that truck to start singing right about now.
I wasn't
Brant
singing.
looks at second, the pitch. Curveball strike on the inside corner. The count's
on
0-1.
Wally to sing a tune with Eric up there. We check back in with them in between innings.
Our good humor man was the bells.
Yeah.
Not the tune.
Yeah, we had the bells.
It was the Tasty Freeze style guy who had the music years ago.
I thought I was the only one that remembered Tasty Freeze. The 0-1, breaking ball inside, gets away. Good stop by McLaughlin.
Cock Robin.
Oh, I love Cock Robin.
Remember that one?
Now, that one I'm really disappointed that they closed. With their 1 in a million chocolate shakes, and I thought the best strawberry sodas, chocolate sodas ever.
Wow. A ball is striking out. The pitch on the way. Shows bunt, pulls it back. Taken upstairs, the count's 2-1.
And they would specialize in those imitation Big Mac sandwiches. I forgot what they called it. I forgot what they called it.
That's right, you're right. I forgot about that.
They're just like a Big Mac with the
secret sauce.
Yes, the secret sauce.
They even had the secret sauce.
Yes, they did.
A variation of the secret sauce. Obviously,
fair
they
enough.
don't want the judge and jury to be knocking on their door.
Yeah, I miss Cock Robin. I don't think my waistline misses Cock Robin, but I miss their food, their ice cream, their steak burgers.
What's your favorite ice cream now, Mark? 2 balls, a strike, 1 down. A look at second, the 2-1. Swing and a miss, and the count's 2-2.
Remember, I'm Italian. We have gelato, so we've got masa in Elmwood Park.
I just recently got introduced to gelato. My goodness, that is decadent.
It is.
And darn good.
And now he's got the cafes in the Mariano's restaurants.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
With Mariano's grocery stores.
The 2-2. Breaking ball outside, and the count goes full 3-2 to Watkins. With the top of the order and Danny Krause due next.
Another one of those 300 hitters batting .303 with 23 runs batted in. And he's a real base-stealing threat if he gets on, having stole 8 bases in 11 attempts.
The fellow at second is Sam Hurt. Brent comes to the high set position. Outfield spread out but deep. The payoff pitch. Line drive, base hit in the left field, and Hart on his horse. He's going to stop at third as the throw came in. A good throw from left by Ulrey. And now once again runners at the corners with 1 down here in the bottom of the second as the Wolves look for the lead.
And they are not getting cheated on their swings either. Those have all been, for the most part, solid hits.
Very solid.
With the exception of those couple fly balls.
I mean, that one just sounded clean right off the bat.
It was clean right off the bat. It was clean.
Wind was blowing out towards center. Now it looks like the flags have shifted a route out toward left. As now we're going to have a little chit-chat here at the mound.
Tied at 2 here.
Maybe we could check back in with Erica. And,
let's do that. Let's check
talk
back
a little
in
more
with
Wally Reynolds.
Let's check back in with Eric right about now. Eric, it's yours.
All right, guys. Thanks. Perfect timing while we got a little stop in the action. I'm still here with Wally Reynolds. And, Wally, it takes a lot to put on this kind of a venue, especially out here at Schaumburg at Booner Stadium. Give us an idea of what kind of headaches you went through to get this thing going.
I don't know that it was so much headaches, but the surprise to me was the amount of different types of logistics that you have to consider. We have so many people in the region that have so graciously given of their time to do a lot of the sports information work, the online work, the website, help us with the scheduling of the games. My assistant, Patty Dolman, back at the office, did all the layout work for me for the program. And I have a guy in Crystal Lake that I know that turned that program around and ran us 500 copies in a day. Those kinds of things. Plus all the passes and those things for people that have to work.
Guys, we're going to send it back to you, but I'm up here with Wally.
Thank you very much. And Kraus swings the first pitch. Little looper on the infield. Gets down and gets in the right field for a base hit. Hurt scores. Around second and headed for third. Making it there. Runners stay at the corners. And the Wolves grab the lead 3-2.
That was one of the oddest infield, outfield singles I've ever seen.
Well, I think the second baseman there for the Cavaliers thought that one was going to take a better hop.
I think he just misjudged it all the way because
I think Thong was trying to make that catch on the fly.
Well, I think he might have thought it was going to bounce straight up to him, but then it just kind of took a funny looking hop and tailed away from him and rolled to the right.
Yeah, that was just a strange looking play all the way around.
But the Wolfpack will certainly take it.
They certainly will, and they have the lead 3-2.
It wasn't hit hard, but it was hit in the right spot more than anything.
Where no one wasn't. Brandon Gibbous now stands in.
It's like he cued it off the end of the bat.
And Gibbous swings at the first pitch and chops it to third. Third baseman up with it. Long throw to first is in time. In to score is Watkins. And it's 4-2 Wolfpack.
And they've taken advantage, at least from a base running standpoint, they've taken advantage of all the opportunities in this game as well. Some smart base running by the
very smart base running. Here is Keith Browning.
And you still have a runner in scoring position at second base now with 2 out.
That's been their signature all weekend. Tim talked about it during the previous show Wednesday and all through the course of the weekend. That's been their signature, just peppering the ball all around. Pitch to Browning is a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. One strike to count.
I'm still reacting to that base hit by Danny Kraus.
I think we all are. Brandt with a double glance to second. In the 0-1. Breaking ball outside, and the count's now even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
The analogy I would use for a kind of a pop ground ball was almost like an outfielder being spun around a little bit.
And we've seen
that.
The
last couple runs haven't been very pretty, but they've been very effective. They've gotten them in.
Next one, line drive headed to center field. Center fielder coming, not going to get there. It's going to get past them and roll for a while. Another run scores around second. Browning headed for third, and he will make it. The second triple of the inning, and it is 5-2 Wolfpack.
Well, you usually hear that adage, a bloop and a blast. We've seen a couple of infield screwballs and then a shot to the gap there by Browning, and now Madison looking like how they did against the Cavaliers down the stretch yesterday, and now Kankakee, they're in a lot of trouble. But remember, Brian, when Kankakee was in this scenario last night down 6-0, I was wondering, would they keep the pitcher in? They kept Herbert in there. Now they got some activity starting to stir. With this being do or die, you wonder how long the leash will be here this afternoon.
A left-hander, Henry Garrettson, is warming up in the bullpen, a freshman out of Gilman, Illinois.
He's seen a lot of action. The first pitch inside, ball 1 to Yap. 4 runs home here for the Wolfpack. They lead it 5-2 here in the bottom of the second inning. And the pitch on the way, swinging a bouncing ball to short. Shortstop up with it. The long throw is in time. The inning is over. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. Let's send it back to Eric.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Exciting game down here, and still talking with Wally Reynolds. And Wally, let's talk about McHenry County College a little bit. I know you're going to be retiring from there, and you've done a lot of things over at McHenry to improve it, structure-wise, faculty-wise, just improvements left and right. Let's talk about some of the things you've done over there at McHenry County College since you've been there.
Well, let's keep in mind that all of the athletic directors in the region have a lot of challenges nowadays with finances and budget. And what we've tried to do, I've been there 24 years, and what we tried to do when we first started was develop the facilities. We built the soccer field. We pretty much did all the development on the baseball and softball fields. We renovated our gymnasium almost from top to bottom. New floor, new lighting, new bleachers, new colors, new logos. So we've just tried to do everything gradually over the course of time, and you can't get everything done all at once, obviously. But So we put together a pretty good program. We're one of the smaller schools in the region, so we have a little bit of a disadvantage in some cases only because of our enrollments being a little bit smaller than some of the bigger schools. But we have a great staff over there and a lot of hardworking people, as we have at all the community colleges. And I really have a lot of admiration for the people in the athletics programs that work at the community colleges, because they don't get paid a lot. The coaches don't get rich. They're doing it for the love of the game and for the educational value for the student athletes.
All right, Wally, we'll come back to you later. Guys, we got a game going on. Back to you in the booth.
Calvin Thong will lead off the third. Thank you, Eric. Tim McKinney, Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you as well. Eric Gustafson, our roving reporter at large, as Thong begins by taking the first pitch outside for ball one.
And on a serious note there, Brian, Eric asked about Wally. He is stepping down in about a month.
Next one. Strike right down the middle. The count's even 1-1 as we're in the top of the third. Go ahead, Tim.
And he's retiring at McHenry. And my kudos to Wally for all of his service to the region, and we wish him well in retirement.
Next one's a strike right down the middle. We all wish him well in retirement. Counts 1-2. Wally has done an outstanding job with this tournament.
But I believe he's still going to be helping out for this event for next year as well and still be involved, which will be a great thing. He lives out here in the area, and it's been great to work with him here over the course of the last couple of months.
High chopper to short, the long throw, pick beautifully at
wow.
first by Jordahl.
That was a great play both ways. In the hole, a tough short hop in the hole that the shortstop Brandon Gibbous was able to dig out, and he threw it with strength. But again, first baseman Mike Jordahl digging out that long throw for the out.
So Thong is retired.
Pretty both ways.
Thong is retired, and Ryan Montcalm steps to the plate. 5-2, Madison Wolfpack with the lead as Montcalm takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1. Schmidt and the Wolfpack now working with a 3-run lead after trailing by 1 run twice in this game.
Montcalm's from Lincoln, Illinois.
Next one, slashed out of play to the right, and the count's quickly 0-2.
Another fine institution, Lincoln College down there.
And
yes, part of the Region 24, the Lynx.
Right.
The Lynx.
I'll be seeing them in basketball season in a few months coming into Collins Center.
Next one, way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
By the way, my wife and I and my son went to the CERN Space Center to see the light show. And it
yes,
was
I saw your
spectacular.
posting about that.
Yeah, that was very nice.
It's one of the hidden gems about the University of River Grove.
Swinging a foul out of play on that one. The count's 1-2.
My home away from home. And I appreciate those folks and Harry McGinnis and all the folks in our marketing department for letting me get away from the office quite a bit to help out with this event as well.
We appreciate you allowing us to cover this. Swing and a miss. Montcalm's retired on a strikeout, 2 down in the inning.
It's like the old Wright College campus. We used to call that UCLA. University of Chicago, located in Austin.
Did you get that copyrighted, Mark?
No, I didn't get it copyrighted. Somebody out there probably did.
Zach Bark.
But they're called the Rams, not the Bruins.
That's right.
That's
as Brian learned last night.
Yes, I did.
I gave him all the junior college nicknames.
It's a ground ball to short. We'll go back to Eric as this half inning has come to an end. First time a team has been retired in order. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cavaliers. We go to the bottom of the third. Wolfpack lead 5-2. Back to Eric.
Thanks a lot, guys. Exciting game. Beautiful day. I'm still up here with Wally Reynolds. And, Wally, you're a radio pioneer, kind of like the rest of us here. And there's something ironic about Boomer Stadium and their home radio station that is here. Let's talk a little bit about the radio.
Yeah, WRMN 1410 in Elgin was a station that I got a job at, actually, when I was 19 years old. And, I came out of broadcasting school, and I sent out 125 resumes to every station within 90 miles of Chicago and southern Illinois. And I actually got an interview out at Elgin, and I asked him if I could have the first interview Monday morning, and he said, sure, fine. So I went in there and I interviewed, and I met the station manager, and he says, Wally, you really disrupted my operation today. You're asking a million questions. Everybody's stopping their work to talk to you and tell you about the radio business. He says, so now that you've been around here all afternoon bugging everybody, what do you think of my station? This was Rick Jekyll, who still is at the station. I said, oh, it's great. What a great place to work. The people are all nice, wonderful. He says, well, how would you like to work at a place like this? I said, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. He says, you're hired. And he looked to the program director, and he says, Dave, it was Dave Fisher at the time, he says, Dave, call the other candidates, tell them not to come in for the interview. It was kind of cool. So I learned a valuable lesson that day about being aggressive and being assertive and making yourself seem like the best candidate and not giving anybody else a chance. But so I was only there a year and a half, and then Uncle Sam called. But short story.
Still up here with Wally. Back to you guys. I have one more question for him.
By the way,
you guys are having fun up there. You
Yeah.
have called the Eric and Wally show up there.
By the way, Wally, I was interviewed by Rich Jekyll as well many years ago. I didn't get the job.
He might
Darn
be.
you.
He's retiring, Brian. You may want him for a slot on the Arena Sports Network now. He's
WRMN
available.
AM and WJKL FM.
Okay. 2 balls, no strikes. The count is Deadard Stanson. Tim's starting already.
But Wally is one of the great storytellers of our region.
Next one is a strike on the inside corner, and the count's now 3-1 as we are just having a ball up here.
You thought if I can tell a story, you got to spend a little time with Mr. Reynolds. You'll have a blast.
Here's the 3-1, way outside ball forward. Deadard draws the walk. Do I want to know what he just said?
He said it was the fastest he's ever told that story.
By the way, the Wolfpack, this is the third inning in a row that they've gotten the lead.
They've gotten the lead off on their board. Hey, folks, thank you for following along with us. You can follow along with us today on this championship day of baseball at the region, the number4tournament.com. Stats, facts, figures, live updates, and the live broadcast you've heard and will hear throughout this historic weekend. That's region, the number4tournament.com. Got some activity in the Cavalier bullpen. Mark will put the seeing eyeglasses to work and find out who it is. And the pitch on the way to Signs is inside for ball 1.
It looks like in the bullpen it is number 41, Scott Runyon, right-hander out of Champaign, Illinois.
Next one's a strike right on the corner, and the count's now even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Brian, a quick update here about South Suburban. I'll give you that one in our next free moment here.
All righty. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Deadard at first base. Syons in the left-handed batter's box. Step off and turn, but no throw. These two are conspiring against me, folks.
That's okay.
I'm kidding as I say that.
That's right.
Brandt sets at the chest, kicks and fires. A swing and a drive towards center field. Center fielder coming over into left center. This time he makes the running catch, and he nearly slipped there. 1 out in the third.
Yeah, South Suburban, their season's over. They lost at the Northern District Tournament out there at Council Bluffs. Iowa Western beat them yesterday 10-2. They lost to Wabash Valley 10-5. So the Bulldogs, who broke my Trojans' hearts last week, their season comes to an end at 37-21.
Fine season.
Very.
Yeah, Steve Rugitz, if you, as that pitch, Mr. Rabaugh, if you haven't looked at the tournament program, read that. I have to congratulate him on the air about being inducted into the NJCAA Hall of Fame for baseball. He
well deserved.
Eclipsed the 1,000 win mark earlier in the season, and that's again another classic coach in the region. For you got Davenport, you got Rugitz, you had Bob Simmons for many years, Rich Simmons for many years, his brother. We talk about Wayne King and Dave Randall. A lot of classy guys running the shows for these programs for many years.
The 1-0 is driven to center field. The center fielder started in, drifted back a couple of steps, makes the catch. Runner retreats back to first. 2 down in the bottom of the third.
So he retires the next 2 batters after walking the leadoff hitter.
Mark.
2 down, and Jordan now stands at the plate.
Brian, I was just curious about Mark's wardrobe today. It wasn't he didn't bring his Arena Sports Network blazer for the championship game tonight.
Well, I'm wearing a shirt that is of a B-17 bomber logo.
What's it with you and bombers?
Well, my father-in-law was a B-17 bomber pilot in World War II. And
fair enough.
They all wound up becoming POWs after getting shot down.
Lefty. And it gets away from McLaughlin. Signs will head into second base. That is a pass ball.
Yeah, I would rule it a pass ball as well. But my father-in-law, Casimir, or as everybody referred to him, Casey Paulinski, was a bomber pilot on a B-17 crew out of England in the mighty 8th Air Force. And the reason why I'm wearing it in honor of him today is because the NJCAA World Series will be in Enid, Oklahoma, where it's typically. And Enid was one of the places, Enid Army Air Force Base, where he trained as a pilot prior to going into the B-17 bombers.
Here's the 1-0 to Jordo, a fastball right outside, and the count is 2-0.
Yeah, the Division II's in Enid, Oklahoma. Division III's in Tyler, Texas. The Division I World Series, where it's always been for many years,
Grand Junction, Colorado.
Yeah. And what are the dates on the? Do you have the dates for that, by the way?
Out of the stretch, the 2-0 on the way is low. 3 balls, no strikes.
I'll put you to work, Tim.
Uh-oh.
I'm here, a researcher, statistician, whatever.
SID,
runner,
yes, I'm sure.
relief announcer, anything you need me to do.
That's right.
I'm here.
These two will take the middle innings, folks. Here's the 3-0. Fastball strike right down the middle, and it's 3-1.
But don't take any offers to clean the toilets, because it takes 2 years before you get a promotion and get a brush.
I guess I better look for a new line of work then.
Right.
I think we all better. 3-1, and the pitch to Jordan is outside, ball 4, and that'll put 2 runners aboard with 2 out.
And also, too, if we don't have a moment, so I have to thank all the tournament staff as well, all the my other colleagues, SIDs in the region, all the folks who volunteered. Wally mentioned some of his staff, some of the Harper staff was here. Bill Antoni and the voice of Moraine Valley. You guys had a chance to get to meet him this week as well. He's doing the public address. So it's a who's who of people in the region. For many of them are friendly faces we get to see when we head to their particular campuses. And now we do have the pitching change, so Kankakee will give the starter the hook.
And we will come back to Eric right now.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. I got one more question for the man that's been so busy through this entire tournament, the process, the setting up. You're going to be retiring from McHenry County. That means family time, quality time, maybe chores. What are you going to do with all this extra time you have?
Well, if the honey-do list gets too big, I'm finding another job. That's number one. That's what I'm telling everybody anyway. But I wasn't really prepared to retire, but some of the state things that are going on and some of the funding and some of the cuts and limitations, kind of forced my hand a little bit. And I was going to try to stick around another couple of years or maybe another year. So I just decided at the last minute that this is going to be it. But I don't really consider it retiring. I'm really considering it, going from one career perhaps to doing some other things or some things I haven't had a chance to do. And I'll tell you one thing that's going to be nice. No more 1 hour each way commutes to work. No more $60 a week in car gas bills. No more 2 hours a day on the road, just getting to and from work. And so that'll be nice. Hopefully I won't get too lazy.
Yeah, because tell them that McHenry County College is the toughest school to get to of any of the schools in the region.
That's just Tim, He's only 16 and he hasn't had much experience driving yet. So he gets on the Eisenhower. He gets on the Eisenhower and everybody when he's doing 40 and everybody's blowing by him and he thinks it's really a dangerous thing. The key to driving on 290 when I used to go to Morton College and Cicero is if you do 90, then you're flowing with traffic and you're less likely to hit somebody.
That's right, yeah.
So, but anyway, I don't have any really specific plans. I'm going to try to stick with my regional position at least for another year and do some of these type of things. And hopefully if everybody thinks this tournament worked out well, we'd like to repeat it next year. And there's even some talk about advancing and doing some of the basketball games into other environments or arenas similar to this, just to boost up the stature and the recognition for the community college athletes who deserve that awareness because they do a great job.
Thanks a lot, Wally Reynolds. I know we're going to have a booth in Herful, and you've done some broadcasting in the past, so we might have to use you, so have your phone ready.
I talked to Brian about the hourly rate, and I think I'll pass.
Guys, back to you.
He's been zinging me all weekend.
Yeah, you don't have
Thank
any
you, Wally.
food vouchers to give Wally like he's been giving you all weekend.
Now I feel like I'm a part of the family.
Welcome to the Region 4, Brian Snow.
I appreciate it. Here's a ground ball to first, and that will close the inning. And Wally has officially welcomed me with that zinger. Nothing across for the Wolfpack. Tim and Mark will take you through the middle innings. We're done with 3. Madison 5 and Kankakee 1. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
We head to the top of the fourth. 5-2 our score. I mistakenly said 5-1. And Wally is still zapping everybody.
Well,
You know what, Wally? Pick your color.
If you have them back next year, it's all yours.
I'm getting on it. You know what? I'm going to go face off with Wally. Tim and Mark will take it through the middle innings. Gentlemen.
5-2 the score in favor of the Madison Wolfpack over the Kankakee Cavaliers in this second of a possible 3-game elimination series. And Dan Schmidt, the left-hander, will deliver, and his first pitch is a little bit outside for ball one to the leadoff hitter, Eric Phillis. Phillis flied out to the left fielder to end the first inning, so he's 0 for 1. Run each in the first for the Cavaliers and Wolfpack, and then the Cavaliers with a run in the top of the inning, but 4 for the Wolfpack in the bottom of the inning. Popped up in the air into shallow center field, and the center fielder comes in to make the catch. That's Keith Browning for out number 1. And with 1 out, it'll bring up the catcher, John McLaughlin. Now, McLaughlin led off the second inning with a double. He came around to score on RBI single by the next batter, Kel Torkelson. So he's 1 for 1. Hannon has scored a run. First pitch to him is swung on screen, hit back to the screen. By the way, I saw, Tim, a bumper sticker on your car that said something to the effect of, "Please don't honk, I'm pedaling as fast as I can."
Yeah, I think that's what Wally gave me for Christmas last year.
Line shot, base hit in the hole out to left field. So McLaughlin's 2 for 2 in the ball game. And the Cavaliers have a runaround with 1 out here in the fourth, and it'll bring up Kel Torkelson, the right fielder, who doubled in the second inning, driving in a run. So he's 1 for 1.
I know, Mark, you were earlier asking about the national tournament, the World Series, and we'll talk more about that as we progress in this inning.
Runner at first is McLaughlin. The pitch to Torkelson is hit up in the air. Gapper, that ball looks like it's going to go all the way to the wall, and
it's gone.
It's gone. Kel Torkelson with a 2-run home run, and the Cavaliers have cut the lead down to 1, and there's the home run ball we were talking about expecting out of this team.
That's the second one of the tournament. Both have been hit by the Cavaliers. Eric Phillis hit a 2-run shot yesterday for Kankakee, and that one really a no-doubter, the wind blowing out toward left, and he took advantage and creamed it, and now all of a sudden we got a ball game again.
Yeah, he hit it deep, and I thought it might stay in the ballpark, but it cleared the fence by a couple feet. And it is now a 5-4 ball game in favor of the Madison Wolfpack.
And I talked about his last at bat. He's just been hitting the ball well here these last couple of days for Kankakee.
This pitch is upstairs, evens the count at 1-1 to the designated hitter, Jacob Lane. Lane is 0 for 1 in the ball game, struck out swinging in the second. So now McLaughlin has scored 2 runs in this ball game, and Torkelson has 2 extra base hits in the ball game. We knew they could hit, that's for sure.
Yeah, and I saw them when they were at Trident. That was a high-powered, offensive, loaded game, so it doesn't surprise me. I just thought the conditions of how cold it was Friday, also for Joliet, who also can hit the ball, affected both teams, as there's a bouncer to third, field it, and across the diamond for out number 2. So Lane retired, and Mark, we were talking about the Junior College World Series in Enid, Oklahoma. It's going to be May the 24th through the 31st. We already know 3 of the teams in the field. It's a 12-team field. The East representative will be Westchester Community College out of New York. The Southeast representative will be Pasco Hernando State. And then the Southwest representative will be Mesa out of Arizona. Winner of this one will be representative of the North Central region.
Pitch to Cardenas, ground ball on a high hop to the third baseman. Toss on to first in time for out number 3. But in the inning, 2 runs for the Cavaliers on 2 hits. A 2-run home run by Kjeld Torkelson. The difference there. And there were nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Our score now, the Kankakee Cavaliers 4. The Madison Wolfpack 5 and the Kankakee Cavaliers 4. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier here from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
At Strachan Van Til, we just made saving on groceries even easier with our new building blocks of value. Just look for the new icons all around the store to find our weekly advertised specials, everyday smart buys, exclusive limited time offers, new lower prices, and even extra rewards. These bright, colorful icons are all about building honest, uncomplicated value, one block at a time, and giving you more ways to save every day. To learn more, visit ValueMeansMore.com today.
And the defending Frontier League champion Schaumburg Boomers opened their home season on Friday, May 23rd against the Florence Freedom right here at Boomer Stadium. Come out and support the champs as they kick off defense of their league title by calling 847-461-3695. That's 847-461-FOUL.
Go to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Madison Wolfpack now leading by only 1 run. It's 5-4 the Wolfpack over the Cavaliers of Kankakee. That was home run number 28 on the season for the Cavaliers by Torkelson.
Yeah, like I said, they can hit the ball, and they showed what power they can do. And I just had a feeling today with how the conditions were going to be. I know I wasn't with you guys for pregame. Just had a feeling there were going to be a few more runs potentially scored here today.
Well, we talked about that in the pregame, about the power hitting of the Kankakee Community College Braves.
Or Cavaliers.
Or in this case, yes, the Cavaliers. I said Braves, but it is the Cavaliers.
They played the Braves last night.
That's right. My mind is French right there for a second. Okay, first pitch to the leadoff hitter for the Wolfpack. Leading it off is the number 1 hitter, Danny Krause. Krause swung on, little nibber to the first baseman. He'll pick it up and take it unassisted to the bag for out number 1, as Krause was retired for the first time in the ballgame after getting base hits and scoring 2 runs earlier in the first 2 innings of the game.
Why to give your colleague Mr. Snow a nickname lesson last night? I might have to give you a crash course on the junior college nicknames too.
That's
as well.
Right. You will get me for the most part. I know a few of the city colleges of Chicago.
Yep.
So Brandon Gibbous will step up with 1 out and nobody on here in the 4th. Gibbous, the shortstop, is officially 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt that helped lead to the 1 run scored by the Cavaliers, by the Wolfpack in the first inning.
And he fouled the first pitch off. It was a breaking ball that didn't break, and he had a half swing and hit off the knob of the bat. And that makes the broadcast official. He got hit. And, of course, with me on the mic, 99.9% of the time, Mark Farina, we can't have a game
without a hit batter.
Exactly. In River Grove or in Schaumburg.
That's right. Yes. Keith Browning will step up. Browning in the ball game is 1 for 2. Drove in a run in the second. Also flied out to the left fielder in the first inning. Drove in a run with a RBI triple to center field in the second inning. And this is a guy who's got some real talent. He leads the Wolfpack in most offensive categories, batting .361. Toss on at first. Good throw by the catcher, John McLaughlin. And having to dive back safely was Brandon Gibbous. Sometimes you think of doing that right after a guy's been hit because he's still thinking about whatever leftover pain he had from being hit by the pitch. Toss this time by the pitcher over. And once again, Gibbous goes and dives back in.
Well, the way to get back for getting hit is to try and snag a base against him as well.
Runyon once again. And once again, Gibbous back sliding head first into first base. Runyon in his first full inning of relief of Jimmy Brandt. Brandt went 2 2/3 innings, giving up the 5 runs. Ground ball, base hit off the second base bag. It probably would have gone into center field for a base hit anyways, but because it hits the bag that way funny and goes into shallow right center field, easily Brandon Gibbs is able to go to third.
And here comes Madison back here on the attack. Runners at the corners, one out. And the heart of the order doing a lot of the damage, but they, again, have a lot of balance. And now we're going to have some of their more dangerous hitters back at the plate here with Mr. Yap up next.
Luke Yap steps up, a .293 hitter. He's still looking for a home run to join the home run parade of Madison. They've only hit 3 this season, but they're very consistent. I think that's the best way to describe their hitting. And consistency, when you see that many batters in your starting lineup batting over 300, that says it all right there.
And again, it's just putting the ball in play, finding the open spots, and manufacturing runs like how they did in that 4-run second.
Yap is 1 for 2 in the ball game. This pitch is swung on, hit in the gap in right center field, but coming on and fighting off the sun, making the catch is the right fielder, Kel Torkelson. But coming in to score from third, tagging up, is Brandon Gibbs for the 6th run of the ball game for the Wolfpack, and they now have a lead back to 2 runs on the RBI sac fly by Luke Yap. Remaining at first base is Keith Browning, but we have 2 out in the inning with a run in, and it brings up the designated hitter and the number 5 hitter in the lineup, Dylan Dietert. Dietert looking for his first hit of the ballgame, although he did lead off the 3rd inning with a walk, but was left stranded in that inning.
Picked off. They got him hung up to dry, Mark.
They've got him hung up to dry indeed, and the first baseman makes the tag on Keith Browning to retire the side. But in the inning, 1 more run for the Wolfpack on 1 hit. There was a hit batter and nobody left. We go to the top of the 5th inning. Our score here at Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg is the Madison Wolfpack 6 and the Kankakee Cavaliers 4. I'm sorry. It is 6-4 the score, and you're listening to the 2014 NJC Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
And we are back here at Schaumburg Boomer Stadium as it's the 5th inning. And guess what? It is time for my favorite part of the broadcast, the Cricket Wireless 5th inning trivia question, which is presented by Cricket Wireless, the official wireless carrier of ASN. And for the question, here's Mr. Snow.
It goes a little something like this. I talked about 100 base stealers. We talked about who the last one was. There were 2 others. Who are they? Aside of Vince Coleman,
okay.
Who were the other 2 the last 2 base stealers to swipe 100 in a season?
Yeah, that was the question we had up here the other night, Mark.
Well, I have an idea who the first one of them is, at least.
I think we may have guessed that one up in the booth.
Yeah.
In addition to Mr.
Oh,
Coleman.
they were. One of the guesses were made.
Yes.
Was made.
So I think I already know the answer, at least one of them. And we almost nearly had another hit batter there as Kankakee at bat here, Mark, in the top of the 5th inning, now trailing 6-4. 3-2 to count.
In fact, I think Mark should know both the answers.
Yeah, I think I've got you on this one. I'll tell you in a second. Looping line drive to center field. Center fielder comes in, makes a nice running catch to retire the leadoff hitter, Jeff Cardenas, and there's 1 out in the 5th. Back to the top of the order, Nick Ulrey always 1 for 2 in the ballgame with a run scored. He singled an infield single in the first, came around to score, and grounded out to the third baseman to end the second inning. Nobody on, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. 6-4 in favor of the Madison Wolfpack. And we've already seen 1 round tripper in this ballgame, thanks to Keldon Torkelson. Ground ball, high hopper,
Nice
leaping up and
play.
making the stab is the third baseman. And third baseman Luke Yap throws him out for out number 2.
Beautiful play. He was able to get that off that high hop, played it beautifully, Mark, and threw a bullet to first to get the second man here in the inning.
And the key that he played it well is the fact that he charged the ball and didn't let the ball play him. He was able to anticipate the high hop because he was in that kind of position rather than laying back, which you really don't want to do very much as a third baseman.
He's going to get another chance here. At third, dug out at first, but
It was bobbled.
Yep.
It was bobbled. And it's going to be an error on the third baseman Yap this time. This time he let the ball play him somewhat, laid back on the high hop, and he was off balance with that throw. He didn't have a lot of mustard on it.
And I thought he did kind of rush the throw as well. When he just needed to take his time, get into a steady motion, would have been a routine play. But will that open the door for the Cavaliers here with now the potential tying run at the plate, trailing by 2.
So 2 out in the inning. And it will bring up Ryan McComb with a runner at first. Rather, Zach Barkdale is the batter. Barkdale is 0 for 2 in the ballgame, grounded out twice on the infield. Once to second, once to shortstop. Got the first 2 runners out in the inning. Or the first 2 batters out in the inning. Count is 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first with 2 out. 6-4 Madison leading. But Kankakee is trying to claw back in this ball game. Schmidt takes a look at first from the stretch. His pitch is swung on and fouled off by Barkdale for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Barkdale will be followed by Eric Phillips, the center fielder.
And he hit the other tournament home run yesterday.
Here's the pitch, swung on, high up in the air. Can a corn to the center field. He's got to fight off the sun somewhat, but he makes the catch to retire the side. In the inning, no runs. There were no hits. There was an error and 1 man left. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Score remains the Madison Wolfpack 6 and the Kankakee Cavaliers 4. And you're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Hey, I'm Charles Tillman, cornerback for your Chicago Bears. I've tackled a lot in my life, but nothing more difficult than waiting for my daughter to receive a life-saving heart transplant. Thanks to the selfless gift of another human being, my wife and I get to hold our daughter each and every day. You too can help give someone a second chance at life. As a registered organ donor, you can help save the lives of more than 25 people. Be a team player. Register to be an organ and tissue donor at donatelifeillinois.org.
Hey everyone, Ed Farmer here. As a closing pitcher for the Sox in 1980, I racked up 30 saves, a Sox record at the time. But thanks to a life-saving kidney transplant in 1991 from my brother Tom, someone else helped save me. Just like my organ donor, you too can give someone a second chance at life. In fact, as a registered organ donor, you can help save the lives of more than 25 people. Be a team player. Register to be an organ and tissue donor at donatelifeillinois.org.
Register today to be an organ and tissue donor at donatelifeillinois.org.
And welcome back here to Schaumburg Boomer Stadium with Mark Farina, Tim McKinney. As we're in the bottom of the 5th, our Cricket Wireless Trivia Question inning. And it's time for our answer. And for that,
let me try to answer that one. I want to say Tim Raines and Ricky Henderson.
Wrong and right.
Okay. Tell me who we
well, I know one was Ricky Henderson because that was guessed by our buddy Mr. Schaefer in the booth.
And I'm surprised Mark didn't get this one. Lou Brock.
Oh, okay. Well, Lou Brock would have been my third pick, but I was thinking Tim Raines is kind of the sleeper because he had a couple of really good seasons.
That's a Cricket Wireless trivia question presented by Cricket Wireless, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. And as much as I love sitting out here in the sun, I got to get back upstairs. Gentlemen, take it.
All right, Brian, thanks a lot. And Mark, we have now a count of 2 balls and a strike, as up for the Wolfpack is Dylan Dietert to lead things off here in the bottom of the 5th.
Dietert in the ball game is officially 0 for 1 with a walk. Line shot to center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit, so he gets his first hit of the ball game. Solid single to center. And with 1 on and nobody out, it'll bring up the right fielder, Luke Syens. Update from the United Center. Blackhawks still holding on to a 2-1 lead with about 5 minutes to go in the third period at the United Center. 2-1 lead over the Los Angeles Kings in the Western Conference Finals.
And then any update on the Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals between Miami and Indiana?
I do, as a matter of fact, with about 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. The Pacers leading the Heat 98-84.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I think, we were talking. Me and Brian were actually talking on the way out here on Fridays. There's a throw to first and runner back that despite all the adversity and everything Indiana went through, he thought they would be ready to play and would beat the Heat.
Like
and a good beginning for Frank Vogel's squad.
1 ball, no strikes, the count to Syens. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Toss on once again to first to keep Dietert honest. Syens led off the second with a triple, came around to score the second run of the ball game for the Wolfpack. He also flied out to the center fielder in the third.
But Mark, again, a big appreciation to you and Brian and everyone at Arena Sports Network for coming out here and being a part of this Region 4 tournament. It's been a blast to have you all here and for you all to get to know us at Pitch Miss for a Ball, and it's now 2-0 to meet and get to know all the folks that help make the junior college athletics tick here in the Chicagoland area.
Well, it's been a great opportunity, and really just from a standpoint of becoming more and more educated about the quality of the junior college programs, not only here in Chicago but in the state of Illinois and in the region, of course, Wisconsin as well. And it's been very impressive doing the research, getting to know the folks, and just learning about the tremendous success that we've had in this area.
Yeah, and not many people realize
by more than one school. Not like 1 or 2 schools have dominated everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're exactly right. And Kankakee's had a solid program. Madison has had a good program for many years. As there's another throw to first, but there's the separate divisions. Obviously, how Trident's had a big history, Mark, and Kishwaukee, South Suburban in Division 1, Joliet, Wabanzi in Division 3. Harper had a solid year as well.
Syens lays down a perfect one. Back to the pitcher. He'll toss on to first. For out number 1 on the play, Dylan Dietert moves on over to second base on the sacrifice bunt.
And that's the bread and butter of the Wolfpack.
Syens.
That's how they want to execute station-to-station baseball. They're not going to, as you talked about earlier, not going to pound it all over the place. They're just going to hit the ball and play, be very solid out there when they're at the plate, be very disciplined in their at-bats, and that was a good job to move the runner over to second.
Small ball, when it's effective, is very effective. It's kind of fundamental baseball is the best way to put it.
Exactly.
Sam Hurt will step up. The second baseman is officially 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored in the second. He flied out to the center fielder in the third. Runner at second is Dylan Dietert with 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 6-4 in favor of the Wolfpack of Madison. And the offering is a called strike for strike 1 by relief pitcher Scott Runyon.
And we do have activity in the Cavalier bullpen as well.
I'll let you do the binocs this time.
Yep, we'll check it out for you and tell you that in a second through my specs.
Pitch is down low. Evens the count, runs the count out to 2 balls and a strike. Mike Jordal, the big guy, is due up next, the first baseman. All 6'6" of him. He's in the on-deck circle. Stand him up against Sam Hurt. It looks like older brother's younger brother. That's a called strike on a nice breaking ball by Runyon. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hurt diminutive, 5'8", while Jordal is a towering 6'6". 2-2 offering as a fastball outside, runs the count full to 3-2. A run in the first, 4 in the second, and another run in the fourth for the Wolfpack, given their 6 runs. Full count offerings, line shot, takes a high hop off the mound. Second baseman picks it up, makes a nice play for out number 2. He was in the perfect defensive position, shading him towards second base to snare that ball that went off the pitcher's mound. On the play, Dietert goes to third, and there's now 2 out. And it'll bring up Mike Jordal, the first baseman.
Adam Slager is warming up for the Cavaliers. We saw him in action the other night as well. He's number 44.
Slager is from Peatone. First pitch is a called strike to Mike Jordal. Jordal is 0 for 1 officially with a walk. Left-handed hitting Jordal against the right-hand throwing Scott Runyon. A little bit of a shaky outing for the starting pitcher, Jimmy Brandt. He gave up 5 of the 6 runs. Ground ball off the third baseman, the diving third baseman's glove into left field for an RBI single for Mike Jordal. Coming in to score is Dylan Dietert from third, and it's now a 7-4 Wolfpack lead as they get the lead back up to 3 runs.
Tack on runs, Mark. When you have a lead, you don't really need to go for the big blow, but just tack on, add on to the lead. Don't hold at bay. And the Wolfpack, after Kankakee got that answer with that 2-run home run earlier in the contest by Torkelson, they've added single tallies in each of the last 2 innings to offset that 2-run homer.
And what was impressive in particular by that RBI single by Jordal was it was an opposite field single.
And he did just enough to get it past the outstretch of Montcalm over at third.
This pitch is swung on. That's a base hit to left field for Watkins, his second hit of the ball game. And on the play, Mike Jordal moves on over to second base. Watkins earlier had a base hit driving in a run in the second inning, had come around to score in that 4-run second inning. So he's now 2 for 3 in the ball game. And with runners at first and second and 2 out, it'll bring up the top of the order and Danny Krause. And Krause himself has 2 hits and 2 runs and an RBI as well.
Yeah, he was active as well yesterday. And now we're going to have Coach Post come out to the mound. It looks like we're going to have the move to the bullpen here. He did make the signal, so it looks like we will have Mr. Slager come in the ball game for the Cavaliers of Kankakee Community College, who trailed this one 7-4, 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. And the Wolfpack of Madison looking to add to the lead. So while Slager comes in and warms up, we'll step aside. We'll take a brief timeout. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. And it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Looking for a reason to visit U.S. Tire and Auto in Gary, Indiana? Our customers gave us 5 of them. The high standards of quality service and parts, lifetime warranties, a strong business built on honesty and integrity. They've been servicing the Gary community since 1991 and the largest auto and light truck tire dealer in the city of Gary, Indiana. We have a variety of products and services that are instrumental to the health of your car, including our tire fitment guide to help you find the correct size tires for your automobile. Our friendly service staff will quickly outfit your vehicle with a high-quality tire that is right for you. Check out our tire and wheel catalog to give your vehicle the perfect fit. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 219-884-4600 or visit us online at www.ustire-auto.com.
And welcome back here to Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. And I heard the goal light in the background, so that may have meant that the Blackhawks may have scored again.
Yes, they scored again, and they won it. They won it 3-1 over the Kings. Good job,
good.
Blackhawks.
So they're up 1 game to nothing in that best of 7 Western Conference Finals. And here at Boomer Stadium, Allen Adam Slager is our new pitcher. He's a righty, 6'4", 200 pounds, freshman out of Peatone. The numbers on Slager entering the tournament in 17 appearances. Has an 0-1 record. Has tossed 19 in the third innings, 22 hits, has allowed 15 runs, 10 earned. He's walked 4, has struck out 8, has an earned run average of 4.66, and Slager's mark's going to inherit runners at first and second, 2 outs, and he's looking to hold the Wolfpack at bay as Madison, I think, has Kankakee on the ropes here at this point.
Third pitcher in the ballgame for Kankakee. Scott Runyon, the first relief pitcher, went 2 innings officially. 2 runs so far on his record, but the 2 runners are his responsibility. Kind of a herky-jerky, almost sidearm motion.
Yeah, that's what we were talking
Slager.
about. Yeah, we were talking about that the other night during our first broadcast of Kankakee and their opener against Prairie State, against Blackhawk.
He popped up in the air, shallow right center field into that Bermuda Triangle area, but the second baseman makes the catch. Nice grab, taking charge by Calvin Thong for the third out. But in the inning, another run on a total of 3 hits. There were no errors and 2 men left. We go to the top of the 6th inning now with the Madison Wolfpack leading the Kankakee Cavaliers by a score of 7-4. And you're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
At Strack & Van Til, we just made saving on groceries even easier with our new building blocks of value. Just look for the new icons all around the store to find our weekly advertised specials, everyday smart buys, exclusive limited time offers, new lower prices, and even extra rewards. These bright, colorful icons are all about building honest, uncomplicated value, one block at a time, and giving you more ways to save every day. To learn more, visit ValueMeansMore.com today.
Chow down with the Italian collection at Subway.
Delicioso.
Try the Mongellis's Chicken Pizzola Melt, a fresh take on Italian with tender, juicy chicken, zesterific pepperoni, and plenty of our signature recipe marinara sauce.
Perfecto.
Mamma mia!
And taste the Amore with the Meatball Pepperoni Melt, a kickin' combination of Italian-style meatballs and pepperoni on your favorite freshly baked bread.
Only at Subway.
And only for a limited time.
Don't miss out.
Subway. Eat fresh.
And welcome back to Schaumburg Boomer Stadium, Region 4, Division 2 championship game as we open the 6th inning. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Kankakee. 7 runs, 10 hits, 1 error for Madison. Can the Cavaliers rally to force the if game, or will we have a celebration here when this one ends this afternoon for the Wolfpack? We'll find out soon enough. And for the call of the 6th, back to Mark Farina.
Eric Phillips will lead it off. The number 5 hitter, and center fielder is 0 for 2. There's a shot. If it stays fair, it's trouble. It will stay fair and go on one bounce to the wall in the corner. Phillips rounding second, but he will hold at second with a leadoff double here in the top of the 6th inning.
And a good beginning for Kankakee. Signs and right nearly bobbled it, and good aggressive base running there by Phyllis Mark. He had notions on going for 3, but then slammed the brakes at the last second as Signs was finally able to control the ball and get it back into play. But a good beginning for the Cavaliers as they look to creep back in this one trailing by 3.
And it's good because the next 2 batters each have 2 hits and a bundle of RBIs and runs. John McLaughlin, the catcher, steps up. He's 2 for 2 in the ballgame, 2 runs scored. He doubled in the second, leading off the second, scored their second run, and singled and scored in the 4th, coming home on Torkelson's 2-run bomb. So they got the guys coming up in this situation, and let's see if left-hander Dan Schmidt can work his way out of this jam so far. Runner at second, nobody out in the pitch. Line shot in the hole into left field, rounding third, but holding at third will be Phyllis on the 3rd hit of the ball game by John McLaughlin, all to left field.
Well, here comes Kankakee trying to do what they did last night against Blackhawk, looking to rally, as we do have double-barrel activity in the Madison bullpen. We'll tell you about that in a moment, but we had a quick moment. As you follow along with us all weekend long for great baseball, hit us up at region4tournament.com. Stats, facts, figures, live updates, and a live broadcast you're currently enjoying throughout this historic weekend. That's region4.com, and follow on Twitter at region4baseball. And one note from our astute Wally Reynolds, our chair of this tournament: every game, every team the same as last year. Madison, Kankakee, Prairie State, and Blackhawk. Waubonsie didn't win over Joliet last year. Madison looking to duplicate it over the Cavaliers here in Division II as well this year.
First pitch to Torkelson is a called strike, and he's 2 for 2 with 2 extra base hits, a double, driving in a run in the second, double to right field, and then he boomed a 2-run home run. There goes the runner, swung on and missed, tossed back to the pitcher, as going into second base with the stolen base will be John McLaughlin, without any real attempt by the catcher for Madison, Danny Krause. So now runners in scoring position at second and third with nobody out. So golden opportunity. Torkelson, if he does what he did last time, would tie this game up. 0-2 offering, swung on and missed a fastball high outside corner for a big strikeout. And that is strikeout number 3 in the ballgame for starting pitcher Dan Schmidt. And none bigger at this point, as it brings up Jacob Lane, one of his other 2 strikeout victims. Lane, the designated hitter, and number 8 hitter, swings and misses at the first pitch, down low for strike 1. He struck out swinging in the second, and he also grounded out in the fourth, grounding out to the third baseman.
I was going to try and tell he was warming up in the Madison bullpen, but their uniforms are not very broadcaster friendly with those light grays down there in the glare of the sun.
Swung on, missed again, this time on a breaking ball to Lane.
I would guess for
Yes.
you, but I may guess wrong.
We've talked about that, what we call it some of the worst uniforms from a broadcast standpoint.
The Willowbrook Warriors named number 1 on my list.
Roe Clark, Maasai Lions in the public league football. Especially football. It really drive you crazy.
Exactly.
That pitch is outside, runs the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes to Jacob Lane. Golden opportunity here in the 6th.
But they do have a pair of righties warming up down there, but if they do go to the pin, we'll obviously fill you in on the details of who they bring in.
Swung on and missed a drop third strike. Catcher will toss over to first. Neither runner will advance, so 2 strikeouts in a row after 2 hits to lead off the inning, and now there's 2 out with runners in scoring position. And the bottom of the order, and Jeff Cardenas, the shortstop.
If Madison prevails in this game, Mark, you may have to put an asterisk on this part of the game here, because this is a big opportunity that Kankakee cannot afford not to let go here and get something here. Here comes Mike Davenport out to the mound, and we'll see if
he makes a change or if he's just going to talk to his infield. It's one of those infield conferences.
And again, they do have first base open here, so the discussion, Mark, could be, do you feel comfortable, pitch, what to do against Cardenas here, or
I would pitch to Cardenas because he's the number 9 hitter. You don't want to go up against a guy with the bases loaded who is your number 1 hitter, who's the kind of guy who can get on base or in that case drive and run. I don't like to do this. If it was 1 out and the next batter up was, or the batter that was coming up was, a real power hitter, a devastating type of ball player, well, then you walk him to set up the double play, but not with 2 out. I would stay away from the left-handed hitting Jeff Cardenas and pitch to him.
And they're signaling down there. That wasn't Mike Davenport, but it looks like that was the pitching coach who came out for Madison, as they were just signaling down there just to indicate to the bullpen, are they ready down there? And I guess they're telling them to kind of hurry up, keep it going, because this may be his final batter facing Cardenas here.
By the way, one of the assistant coaches for the Wolfpack is the Boomers hitting coach.
Yeah.
C.J. Thielke.
Yeah, Billy Frado, who I worked with yesterday in the press box.
Ground ball down the line, foul.
He's one of the base coaches for the Boomers. He's an assistant coach at Oakton Community College out in Des Plaines.
So the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike to Cardenas. Runners at second and third. Phyllis at third. McLaughlin at second. From the stretch, Schmidt takes a look at second. His 1-1 offering is a called strike.
Boy, he came with the hook right there, Mark Beauty. It hooked over that inside corner. Nice pitch.
And he had the perfect elevation, a tough pitch to swing at, a high strike on the breaking ball. So now the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and time called for a moment by the home plate umpire. Golden opportunity. They had runners in second and third with nobody out. 2 strikeouts later, and 2 strikes on the batter, Jeff Cardenas. Pitch, ground ball, easy to the first baseman. He'll take it himself, unassisted, to retire the side. In the inning, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left, both in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Score remains the Madison College Wolfpack 7, the Kankakee Community College Cavaliers 4. And you're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. And it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Do you suffer from severe chronic pain caused by a back or neck injury, migraine headaches, or a work injury? Take heart. Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist is the region's leading provider of minimally invasive, non-surgical pain treatments. For more than a decade, physicians and patients in Munster, Dyer, East Chicago, Hammond, Hobart, Merrillville, St. John, and Valparaiso have turned to Miss First for effective relief of even the most severe and painful conditions. Our board-certified fellowship-trained experts use a wide range of minimally invasive techniques to dramatically relieve your pain. In fact, for more than a decade, Miss Specialists have been first to deliver proven effective treatment innovations for spinal pain and other conditions to patients throughout northwestern Indiana. For more information, pay us a visit at 8840 Calumet Avenue, Suite 103 in Munster, or give us a call at 219-836-7246. The Midwest Interventional Spine Specialist, first in proven pain solutions, first in patient care.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. 7-4, the Madison Wolfpack leading the Kankakee Cavaliers, as Cavaliers unfortunately squandered a golden opportunity to put this game closer in the top of the 6th inning. By the way, we'd like to do a shout-out to Chicago Bulls College Prep out of the Noble Charter Network of High Schools. Once again, the girls and boys winning their respective tournaments. The girls winning for the 4th year in a row the Noble Sports Conference Softball Championship. They did that today over UIC Prep, and then yesterday it was the Bulls defeating Rauner for their Bulls Prep for their 2nd baseball championship. So kudos to Dan Castaneda, the girls coach, and a great program that they have over there at Bulls College Prep.
Well, congratulations to all those young ladies and
men.
Yes, great job by them all.
They've got a terrific athletic program, terrific school all the way around, right about a block west of the United Center on Adams. Leadoff hitter for the Wolfpack is Brandon Gibbous, the shortstop. Gibbous is officially 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt, and he was hit by a pitch but came around to score in the 4th. 1 ball, 1 strike the count, and the offering is a little high and in tight for ball 2. It'll be Gibbous, Browning, and then Yap, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the lineup for Mike Davenport's Wolfpack. 3rd pitcher of the ballgame, Adam Slager. This one down in the dirt for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike.
Yeah, this is the last thing you want to do if you're Slager. Walk the leadoff man with your team trailing by 3 here at the bottom of the 6th inning.
3rd pitcher of the ballgame, Jimmy Brandt started it, went 2 2/3 innings. Scott Runyon came in for 2 innings of relief. Pitches upstairs, ball 4.
Well, there it is, the dreaded leadoff walk.
On 5 pitches as well. So Gibbous leads it off with a walk. He's on base for the 2nd time. Less painfully this time.
Yes, but he did make the broadcast official.
That's right, exactly.
I always appreciate that.
Number 3 hitter, the stud, Keith Browning. I keep saying that because his stats are very impressive. Browning, .361 coming into today's ballgame. Tied for the lead on the team in batting average with Dylan Dietert. 61 hits, leads them in that category. He is tied with Brandon Gibbs with runs scored coming in with 43. And 79 total bases. This ball's in the dirt. It's going to go all the way back to the screen. And on the play, Gibbs will take second on a wild pitch.
Yeah, I would think now, up by 3. Some cases, some coaches would bunt, but I think how you talked about how Browning's been playing here, Coach Davenport's going to let him swing away and see if he can.
But he is also a strikeout threat. I mean, he has struck out 21 times.
Yep.
So he not a big power hitter.
Well,
but
he does square up.
And he does. And puts it down, but it rolls foul.
Well, I thought maybe he might, how he's been, hitting the ball today, he might let him swing away here, but trying to maybe go for that eighth run and make it a 4-run game.
And a little bit of the element of surprise as well, because he bunted that for a hit.
Yep.
That wasn't a sacrifice type bunt. It was a bunt trying to get on base with a hit.
Especially because Montcalm was playing a little bit back at first. Look at Barkdoe at first. He's playing back as well.
Play him straight away to all 3 outfield positions. So if he gets it down either line, he'll have some time to run the bases. 1-1 offering is fouled back. And into one of the suites right to our right.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of painting and freshening up here in the suite area where our press box is at in anticipation of their season opener this coming Friday for the Boomers.
The defending Frontier League champion Schaumburg Boomers, under the direction of the Salvi family, who also own the Gary South Shore Railcats. This ball is in the dirt. Nice stop by the catcher to knock it down before it went back to the screen. Salvi family also owns the Gary South Shore Railcats, and they were league champions in the American Association last year. So quite a celebratory mood in the Salvi law firm.
And appreciate them for having us out here for this weekend.
Pitch swung on. High hopper to the third baseman. Throw in time. Running to third and getting there in time with some heads-up base running is Brandon Gibbs.
Well, aggressive on that long throw back across. That's just one of those timing plays. If the only way you're going to go is unless you know 100% for certain you're going to make it. Gibbs took off and did get there probably a good second ahead of the tag.
He took off as soon as he saw that it was a high hopper to the third baseman. So 1 up, runner at third with 1 out in the form of Brandon Gibbs now, and Luke Yap will step up. Yap is 1 for 2 with the sacrifice fly RBI. Pitches called strike in the outside corner for strike 1. Yap singled, driving in the 1 run in the first inning, singling to right. He grounded out to the shortstop to end the second, and then hit a sac fly to right to drive in another run. Ground ball, nice scoop by the third baseman on the short hop. Toss on to first, saves a run from scoring for out number 2. Nice play.
Yeah.
Once again by the third baseman, who's done a really nice job. Third baseman Ryan Mountcalm.
And he was played in there because of that runner being at third with less than 2 outs. And now he'll be able to take a few steps back here. But a big play, as you said. Bit of a funny hop, but he was able to field it cleanly. And Kankakee out away from getting out of trouble here in the 6th.
Anything but routine.
Yes.
And the pitch to Dietert. Dylan Dietert is called strike for strike 1. Dietert is officially 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored and a walk. And a fly out to right to end the first inning. That pitch is a strike for strike 2. Oh, no balls, 2 strikes. Luke Syons, the right fielder, would be due up next. 7-4, the Madison Wolfpack leading the Kankakee Cavaliers here in the bottom of the 6th. Pitch swung on, ground ball on a couple hops, bobbled by the first baseman. He knocks it down, tosses to first, in time, just in time to the pitcher, Adam Slager, covering to retire the side. In the inning, no runs, there were no hits, a walk, and 1 man left. We are through 6 complete innings here in Schaumburg. Brian Snow will bring us the rest of the way. Our score remains the Madison College Wolfpack 7, the Kankakee Community College Cavaliers 4. And you're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Get your best price on Ford trucks, Focus, F-150, Explorer, Escape, and Lincoln MKS, MKT, MKX, MKZ, as well as Fiesta, Fusion, Taurus, Mustang, Navigator, and all other new Ford Lincoln vehicles at the all-new Sowers Ford in Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer. We offer new and used Ford Lincoln vehicles, parts, service, and used cars. If you are in Northwest Indiana or near Michigan City, LaPorte, Hobart, Burns Harbor, Valparaiso, Chesterton, South Bend, or Portage, there is no comparison to the other dealers around town. We are about to earn your business with top quality service and the most competitive pricing in Indiana. Stop by today at 3930 Franklin Street in Michigan City or give us a call at 219-879-5381. That's 219-879-5381. Or visit us online at www.sowersauto.com. Sowers Ford Lincoln, Northwest Indiana's newest Ford Lincoln dealer.
Come on back. It's okay, don't worry about it.
We start the 7th along with Mark Farina, Brian Snow here with you as Ulrey steps in the right-handed batter's box. 3 innings to go for Madison to clinch the championship. Ulrey swings and fouls it off for strike 2. 7-10-1 for the Wolfpack. 4-8-0 for the Cavaliers. Mark, been pretty good ball game.
Been a very good ball game.
The 0-2, fastball high, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
It's been a very good ball game all the way around.
The 1-2, bouncing ball headed to third. Here's Yap. Got him. 1 down.
Sensational play. Wow.
Hang a star on that, baby.
He, not quite a dive, but he had to spin around, do the spinorama, and have the strength on the throw, and he had him by a number of steps. Great play. This time he is able to retire Ulrey.
Here's Calvin Thong.
That is,
and I'm not trying the rest of the name like I did at the break. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to short on 1 hop. Deep in the hole. Got him. 2 down.
So Calvin Thong goes out. His name, his full name,
is Thong Chomlin Sauk.
That's right. Very good. I give you credit for that one.
And that's the only time I'll say it.
Thong Chomlinsock. That's his full last name.
That's his full last name.
Yeah.
And we're keeping it at Thong for broadcast purposes.
Maybe the winner of
the name of the year.
Some of the unique ones.
Ryan Montcalm swings at the first pitch, a fastball inside for strike 1.
We have a young volleyball player at Chicago State by the name of Relitsa Hadjistoyanova.
What?
But I think that's easier than Thong Chomlinsock.
What? Next one, fastball inside 1 ball, 1 strike.
That's what I say. Gesundheit.
Yes. Thank you, Eric. And thank you, Mark. The 1-1, bouncing ball headed towards short. Shortstop backs up, fires, inning over.
A bullet from the hole. Outstanding.
Outstanding has been Madison's defense throughout the course of this tournament. Nothing across. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 7-4 Madison. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
Have you heard the good news about a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news about a place where you can celebrate what is right in the world, share it with your friends, family, and community, and neighbors at school, work, or place of worship, and have fun doing it? Well, there is such a place. That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorteCountyLife.com is all about the positive, not the negative, bringing out the best and not the worst, and all about promoting positivity in your community. LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
Mark and Brian back here in the booth with you.
Blackhawks, by the way.
3-1, baby.
3-1 winners, getting a goal in each of the 3 periods. Brandon Saad with his third of the playoffs, a power play goal in the first period.
So the Saad father scores.
Duncan Keith with his third in the second period, and then the captain, Jonathan Tays, with his 6th goal of the playoffs, and Marion Hossa also chipped in 2 assists, and Saad had an assist as well as a goal. So
it wouldn't be it wouldn't be a Blackhawks game without a goal from the captain
or the Caner, one of the two.
How lethal are those two?
Or contributions from Marion Hossa, which he did.
True. The
more quiet contributions were the assists.
We start the bottom of the 7th with a line drive base hit in the left field for Science.
That's his second hit of the ball game.
This Madison team is a good hitting team, period.
And as Tim McKinney and I were talking about, it's just fundamentally a good hitting team.
Yes.
They don't necessarily try to overpower you, and here comes Mike Davenport to pay another visit to the mound. I think we're going to possibly get a double switch in this case.
That is a classic clue for a double switch.
It looks like a lefty is going to be coming in. We'll take a quick look down on the bullpen. He's been warming up.
Are you using the glasses?
Yes, I'm using the binocs. Let's see. It is number 35 on the roster.
That's Garrettson.
That is Garrettson.
Henry Garrettson.
That's Garrettson,
Sorry, couldn't help it.
The young freshman from Gilman, Illinois. He's probably heard that in a farm town like Gilman.
Come on, he's probably said it himself.
Out in the cornfield,
let's
say.
Come on, he said it himself.
Soybean field?
He said it himself a few times over, all right?
Well, he's not going to make a switch after all.
Oh, he's not?
No. He's going to keep Garrettson warming up in the bullpen. And more of a he did something because the umpire's signaling to the public address announcer some form of communication. There is a change, but it's not from the bullpen. So we do have a new pitcher.
Yes, it is. We do have a new pitcher.
We have a new pitcher, but it's not the guy who was warming up. It's one of the players in the field. This is...
So we got fooled.
Again. In this case, it is...
At least this wasn't as bad as...
It's Zach Barkdahl.
Oh, it's Barkdahl who's throwing.
Barkdahl is going to be the relief pitcher.
At least this is not as bad as the switch they pulled on us in South Bend.
And I'm assuming that the pitcher will take Barkdahl's spot
at first
base.
Or is that the switch?
Well, it's Barkdahl's the pitcher. Now let's see who's going to go over to first base. I'm assuming, and of course, assuming never does you any good.
No.
Let's see who the young man is over at first base. The new first baseman is Jacob Lane, the designated hitter. So he's moved to first base.
So Lane is now in the game.
Which I believe then takes the designated hitter out of the equation.
Yeah.
As Barkdahl comes in as a relief pitcher. Although Lane will stay in. He's not as a designated hitter in this case. So your pitcher will stay in as a hitter. So fourth pitcher in the ballgame for the Kankakee Cavaliers. In addition to Jimmy Brandt, Scott Runyon, and Adam Slager, now Zach Barkdahl is our relief pitcher.
And speaking of Barkdahl, he tosses to first, and the runner Science gets back. Sam Hurt at the plate now for the Wolfpack, who leads 7-4 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Barkdahl's pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes.
Slager did a pretty good job in relief.
Oh, yeah.
All things considered. But you don't want to allow any more runs to come across.
No, you don't.
Pitch swung on.
Swung on, grounded to short, and right past him. Science will make the turn and head for third.
That's an E6 as he let that ball play him all the way.
Yeah, that's an error.
Went down to one knee rather than he literally let the ball play him the whole way.
So that error
could be a problem because now you got runners at the corners with nobody out.
That error could also close the door on this game.
We are in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's of course a 9-inning game in college baseball.
Mike Jordan now set to stand in. And hold on to your seats, folks. Mike Jordan in the left-handed batter's box. Barkdahl looks in and gets his sign and comes set with runners at the corners. The pitch. Fastball strike on the outside corner. The count's 0-1.
Jordan is 1 for 2 in the ballgame with an RBI and a walk.
And he hit a bullet.
Yeah, that last
He
time
hit
up.
a bullet back in the 5th inning. The 0-1. Fastball outside to MJ.
I'll tell you, he's the
And
kind of
count's
ball
even
player
1-1.
with that height and that what you would assume strength. I think if he gets the ball up in the air, he could really tank it. There's no wind at this point.
He gets one up in the air. It's going over every tree in right field because you would assume he'd pull it. The 1-1 to Jordan. Fastball high and tight, 2-1, and they were thinking the same thing.
And it's a
so they backed him off the plate.
Beautiful backdrop with the trees out in center and right field.
We talked a lot about SEC. You know what this stadium reminds me of in the SEC?
Yeah.
Georgia.
That's right.
Because they have the same kind of setup.
You've got the picnic.
A step off toward third and a turn to first. Nobody moved.
Picnic area out in left field here at Boomer Stadium. And then further out you see the Elgin O'Hare Expressway, the expressway that neither comes from or goes to either Elgin or O'Hare Airport.
2 balls, 1 strike. Out of the stretch, a turn, throw to first, and Sam Hurt gets back.
I think in theory it was supposed to go from Elgin into O'Hare, and it never made it to either point. More like.
And what 2 words did you lead
Schaumburg
that
to Itasca?
And what 2 words did you lead that sentence off with? In theory.
Yes.
Chopper to short. They're going to come home. Out there, mate. Yes,
Yeah.
out there. 1 down.
Hit a little bit too hard to the shortstop. He went opposite field, the left-handed hitting Jordan. But nice play by the shortstop to pick it up and quickly throw a strike to home plate by Jeff Cardenas.
So Science is retired at the plate. 1 down in the 7th. And Watkins now heads to the dish.
6-2
the leadoff
on the
hitter
put-up.
Krause on deck.
On the play, Sam Hurt moves over to second. Now with 1 out.
Hurt stands at second. Jordan now at first. With 1 down here in the 7th. 7-4. Madison College Wolfpack with the lead. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a changeup. And the count's 0-1.
Watkins has been productive in this ball game. He has 2 hits and 2 runs batted in.
That he has. Bartow looks in and gets his sign. And I got a final from Indianapolis, and I am loving it already. Time is called.
Yes, we
mentioned
an earlier score.
And it goes like this. Indiana 107, Miami 96.
Beat them by 11 points, the Pacers did today.
So for the first time in 4 years, the Heat lose the first game of a conference final. There's a side note to that as the next pitch is upstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. The first time in 4 years that the Heat lose the opening game of a conference final. You know who did the deed last? Derrick Rose and the Bulls in 2011.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what, Indiana seems to have finally gotten their act together.
They seem to have finally
after that
woken up.
late-season swan dive they seem to take.
And they still wound up the number 1 seed. Here's the pitch. Low and inside. It's 2-1.
Yeah, they looked like they were going to self-destruct.
They look, and now instead of self-destruction, they look like the team that everyone was picking them to be, the team to beat in the East. 2-1 the count. Hurt at second, Jordan at first. The 2-1, a swing and a little looper headed toward left center field. That's going to get down for a hit. Sam Hurt giddy-ups around third, headed for the plate. Jordan stops at second. Hurt scores 8-4 Wolfpack.
So they get the run in anyways. And nice piece of hitting. And Watkins has 3 hits, 3 RBIs, and a run scored. The number 9 hitter, mind you.
And we talk about that all the time, Mark, about how dangerous a number 9 hitter can be, and this is a perfect case of it.
Sometimes, and I've heard people use the term that sometimes a number 9 hitter, especially when you've got a designated hitter, is in some ways kind of like the back end leadoff hitter, if you will.
Yeah.
Because many times they come up leading off in the second or third inning. So you want to have a guy who can get on base, even though he's number 9. Who cares? Because then he sets up the true leadoff hitter, who's a guy who can get on base.
Here's the pitch to Danny Krause. A strike on the outside corner. The count's 0-1. 8-4. Wolfpack lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
I'll tell you, Watkins would be one of my choices for the game MVP with 3 hits and 3 runs scored.
Indeed.
3 RBIs.
Next one, way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Krause is another guy with a couple of hits and a couple of runs and a run batted in.
12 hits for
12 hits for the Wolfpack. 8 for the Cavaliers.
Okay, I'm going to bug Eric here in a minute. He gave me a prediction, and it's not going to happen. Next one's upstairs, 2 balls, 1 strike. He gave me a prediction. He gave 2 of them on this sheet that I'm not going to read, and I'm going to burn it in a minute.
Eric Gustafson, of course.
Eric Gustafson has been wonderful with us this weekend. He's done a great job with all of his on-field interviews. He joined both of us for a call. Next one's outside, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And, he's done a wonderful job of learning the English language after moving here from, I believe, Norway. I believe he told me he's of Norwegian extraction.
See, this is why
he keeps asking for...
Next one's outside, ball 4, and Krause draws a walk, and that'll load him up, and this is trouble for Bartol.
He keeps asking for creamed herring.
So that explains why he was in a weird mood this morning.
So now...
Wait, let me change that. That explains why he was in a weird mood Friday morning when the snow was coming down like crazy.
So 1 out, bases loaded down in the bottom of the 7th.
Brandon Gibbons with a chance to blow this thing open. The pitch to Brandon is a strike on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1.
Gibbons
creamed
sacrificed.
Herring instead of pickled herring. What is... You know what, folks? That's Eric. That's the goose.
By the way, Brian knows how much I love the show Bizarre Foods with
Yes.
Andrew Zimmer. Bizarre
Next one's
Foods
a
America.
strike. Yeah, next one's a strike, and the count's 0-2. Actually, the first one was a strike. So I'm a little messed up.
That's right.
Talking about all that herring.
Herring on the brain, yes.
Yeah, herring on the brain. I got no herring on my head. 0-2 with 1 down. The kick and the pitch, swing and a miss. And on 3 pitches, Gibbous is gone. 2 down in the inning. And Browning now comes to the plate. I think we've effectively made Eric laugh until he's under the table now. More activity in the Cavalier bullpen. I believe this is Garrettson that's warming up.
Garrettson's been warming up for a while, the left-hander.
Bartol sets, kicks, deals. A swing and a miss, and the count's 0-1. We got more baseball coming for you guys next weekend as we hit Wrigley Field, and we finally get to christen Granderson Stadium.
Yeah, at UIC, that beautiful new ballpark addition.
The 0-1 is low, great block behind the plate. The count's even 1 ball, 1 strike.
Les Miller Field's still there, but the grandstand is just gorgeous. I mean,
the grandstand,
Division I quality.
The grandstand, you just said it. Grandstand is Division I quality. Boy, did they do a great job in getting it together, even with the crazy weather that's been going on.
Thank you, Curtis Granderson.
The 1-1 is a fastball striking the outside corner. The count's 1-2.
The UIC
graduate,
grad and alum, and he very generously donated a chunk of money to his alma mater.
A big chunk of money, and they have put it to great use. A ball, 2 strikes, 2 down.
Well, one of the things that he stipulated was that it wouldn't be used exclusively for UIC, but could be used by the Chicago Public High Schools,
right,
and some other, some
of
the other summer league
that.
teams as well.
So that's where the Public League Championship will be decided. Here's the 1-2, outside with a breaking ball, and the count's now 2-2.
Actually, second year in a row they're at that facility, if you will, because it was Les Turner Field
and
Les Miller Field.
And I say this jokingly, so now we get a little more elbow room to work with.
Considerably more, yes. I hear you.
The 2-2, a swing and a foul on a play. Doink!
Plus, just in case, the restroom facilities are closer than they were previous for us.
I'm so happy.
Yes.
That way we don't have to run all the way to the restroom and then run all the way back before a pitch is thrown in.
Up the stairs back, yes. Things that happen as you get older, the body being what it is.
Yeah, the body decides to rebel on some occasions. The 2-2, sliced foul into the backstop. We'll do it again.
Nice job by Browning staying alive.
And Browning may be due.
He is. I think he is due. He has been on base. He did get a triple and drove in a run in the second.
But I'm talking about due in this situation.
And he also singled in the 4th. So he's 2 for 2. 2 for 4, rather.
Next one, driven to right. This is going to drop and roll, and everybody's going to come on down. 1 run home in Jordo, 2nd run home in Sam Hurd. Here comes the 3rd one headed to the plate. He is safe. A 3-run double, 11 for Wolfpack, and that may have slammed the door.
Well, what were you just talking about? Right there. He banged, and he did it.
He was due. Even with that triple earlier in the game, he was due in a situation like this, and there you go. 4 runs home for the second inning today for the Wolfpack. They now lead 11-4 here in the 7th.
My, oh my.
Here is Luke Yap. Here's the pitch to Yap. Fastball high, ball 1. 13 hits now for Madison. 8 for Kankakee, and
for Browning, that he now has 40 RBIs on the season to lead the team.
Next one's a strike on the inside corner. The count's even, 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'm sorry.
If I may invoke the great Keith Jackson, and the door just slammed.
And for Browning, his 6th triple to go along with his 6th double to go along with his 4th triple on the season.
Fastball high and tight, 2 balls and 1 strike to Yap. Browning stands at second. He just may have delivered the decisive blow of the game. Next one, swinging a high fly ball headed toward right into foul territory. First baseman giving chase, and he reaches back and he got it!
He got it over by the home plate area of the bullpen in right field, and to reach back to make it, but nice play. It was not a routine pop foul by any stretch of the imagination. Nice play.
But Mr. Keith Browning has put 3 more on the board, 4 more in the inning, 11 for Madison as we head to the 8th. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, and it's driven by Sowers Ford.
At Strachan Van Til, we think differently about groceries. We always have. So what does that mean? It means better, fresher, focused on you. Your neighborhood store that gives you more. It's quality, selection, the variety you want. Choice meats, deli, bakery, your one-stop shop. Everything on your list and all for less. With the savings you deserve and unbeatable service, that's different. That's built around you, and that's your Strachan Van Til.
Quality products from Bridgestone, Firestone, and great service is what sets U.S. Tire and Automotive apart. Our service department specializes in brake service alignments and oil changes for customers just like you. Come pay us a visit at 3350 Grant Street in Gary, Indiana, or call 219-884-4600, or visit us online at ustire-auto.com.
11 for Madison College with the lead, and Mark, before the big hit was delivered, we had just spoken literally moments before that Browning wanted to come through in that kind of situation. He got a pitch to hit, and he walloped it.
Well, he placed it just perfectly down the right field line, close enough for the right fielder to get it in fairly quickly, but by that point, all 3 runs had scored. Thank you.
Man. Here's a line drive into right field for a base hit by Barkdole. He'll make the turn, and he'll head back to first as we begin the 8th inning. Hit number 9 now for the Cavaliers as they now find themselves trailing 11-4 here in the top of the 8th inning. And Eric Phillips now stands in. You talk about a shot. That was it. And now the Cavaliers will try to mount a rally against Dan Schmidt. And aside of the 4 runs that Schmidt has given up, Mark, on 9 hits, Schmidt's been great.
Tim is bringing us food. Thank you.
Well, Goose is actually bringing the food. Tim's just ordering it.
Oh, that's true.
Well, we thank you either way, and we're going to have a conference on the mound now.
Well, it's shaping up to be exactly like the last time these two teams played each other.
Yep. And Schmidt's going to take the rest of the afternoon off. He deserves it. We'll pause for 60, tell you who the new pitcher is in just a moment.
Have you heard the good news about a crazy dream based on a belief that positive breeds positive and that people want to read, hear, and watch stuff about good people? Have you heard the good news about a place you can go to enjoy positive, community-oriented information about the town, city, or region you live in and the people involved? Have you heard the good news about a place where you can celebrate what is right in the world, share it with your friends, family, and community, and neighbors at school, work, or place of worship, and have fun doing it? Well, there is such a place. That place is LaPorteCountyLife.com. LaPorteCountyLife.com is all about the positive, not the negative, bringing out the best and not the worst, and all about promoting positivity in your community. LaPorteCountyLife.com. Have you heard the good news?
So it'll be right-hander Weston Wootrich who's going to come in to replace Dan Schmidt in the lineup as the relief pitcher for the Madison College Wolfpack. Wootrich is a freshman out of Greenwood, Wisconsin. Actually, it's pronounced Wietrich. Weston Wietrich, as I see the pronunciation key. Again, I said he's out of Greenwood, Wisconsin, a 6'2", 210-pound freshman. The line on Wietrich so far this year. Wietrich. I'm sorry, Weston. He's got a 2.64 earned run average, a record of 2-0. This will be his 14th appearance of the season, 4 of which had been starts. He has 4 saves to lead the team in that category, so he is primarily their closer along with Nathan Hoffman. In 30 and 2/3 innings pitched, 26 hits, 21 runs, 9 earned, 22 walks, 37 strikeouts, and teams are hitting .217 against him.
Eric Phillips now stands in to face Wietrich, who takes the fastball in, who delivers the fastball inside for ball 1.
Dan Schmidt going a total of
7 full.
7 full.
And he faces a batter here in the 8th, and he gives up 9 runs on 4 hits. Book still open on Mr. Schmidt as Wietrich delivers a fastball upstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Hey, folks, stay tuned for the Game Works post-game show where we recap the final numbers, award our player of the game, and possibly have a clinching moment. Turn, throw to first, runner back. The post-game show presented by Game Works here in Schaumburg. Games, food, and winning moments, and more. In fact, it's the works. Game Works. 2 balls, no strikes. Wietrich sets at the chest, kicks and fires. A fastball wide. 3 balls, no strikes.
He struck out 4, did not walk a batter in that 7 full innings, did Dan Schmidt. Really, the only mistake so far, he gave up a
home run.
The home run and an RBI double, but other than that, he pitched pretty flawless.
3-0's a strike to Phyllis, 3-1. 11-4, Madison College with the lead here in the top of the 8th inning. A leadoff hit for Barkdole, a leadoff single, is where we stand. The pitch, fastball strike right down the middle on the outside corner. Counts now full, 3-2.
Wietrich, he has some giddy up on his fastball.
And he might rear back and throw one more here. Wietrich looks in and gets the sign. And now comes to the set position at the belt. And the payoff pitch swung on and fouled out of play, over the roof and out of play. And the count stays full at 3-2.
Fortunately, nowhere near my car, like we've had
I'm
at
glad.
some of the other ballparks we've been to. This ballpark's very similar in design to the ballpark in Gary. Oh, South Shore.
Out of the stretch. The payoff. Fastball high, ball 4, and 2 runners are aboard.
We have had the pleasure the last 3 years of broadcasting games in the South Shore, Gary South Shore Railcats High School Baseball Challenge.
That we have.
That is played in April, and always a weather challenge, needless to say, for everybody involved.
Yeah, it has.
But it's been a lot of fun. It's great to be part of that. Friends with that organization, which, of course, it's the same group that owns both teams here in Schaumburg. And
same owners for both. Now, 2 on, nobody out here in the 8th inning as Wietrich delivers a swing and a high fly ball into left. Left fielder camps under it. Takes a peek, makes the catch, 1 down in the 8th.
It's a big guy to get out in the form of McLaughlin, who coming into that at bat was 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. So that's a big guy to get out.
Here's the big Keel Torkelson. Now stepping to the plate, and now a double play gets him out of the inning.
And Torkelson is also got 2. He's got 2 hits in the ballgame, 2 extra base hits, a double driving in a run in the second, and that booming 2-run home run to left field in the 4th.
Which brought him within 4-3 at the time. Here's the pitch. Fastball high, ball 1.
Yeah, we thought we had a ball game at that point, but just the Wolfpack chipped away from that point on, getting a couple of single runs.
Actually, it brought him within 5-4. I made a mistake. My math was off.
It brought him
within 5-4. Out of the stretch, the pitch. Fastball high. And it's 2-0.
The Wolfpack in the 3 games in this tournament have scored a total of 25 runs
so far. Wietrich looks and comes home. A fastball strike, and it's 2-1.
They've scored 25 while giving up 8. Because one of those games was a shutout.
And they've matched their high run total they've given up, which is 4. Although there's a threat going on here in the 8th inning. Out of the stretch. The kick, the pitch, swinging a foul back to the backstop. And the count is now even at 2-2.
Brian and I have had the pleasure of working from 5 different minor league ballparks.
Indeed, we have.
In the Chicago metro area and northern Indiana. And each one of them has been a pleasure to work with the staffs there and the colleges in most cases that were running the games there, playing their games there.
Here's the 2-2. Called strike 3 with a breaking ball inside corner.
That was a big one.
Filthy, man. Very filthy.
That was a big out, as was the previous batter in McLaughlin. So now Jacob Lane steps up, and he's 0 for 3, having struck out twice.
Lane will try to extend this inning. I think Madison College leading 11-4.
Is that Lane? No, it looks like a pinch hitter.
No, it's a pinch hitter that's coming in. And that pinch hitter's name is Zach. That's a Rapp.
Zach Rapp.
Yep.
Wonder if he's related to the theatrical family.
Oh, I thought you were going to go another way.
No, the theatrical family, Chicago Theater.
Oh.
Rapp and Rapp.
Rapp and Rapp.
The ones who built those movie palaces.
So we have Rapp on Kankakee and Yap on Madison.
That's right.
Oh, what a combination.
Yeah.
The pitch to Rapp.
Somewhere let's work that out.
One.
Rack, Yap, and if we had Zap, it'd be perfect, you know?
Wouldn't it?
Yes.
1 ball, no strikes with 2 down. As Rapp shows where he wants it, and Wietrich comes to the low set.
Question is, will Rapp stay in the ballgame at first base?
Fastball high,
Possibly.
2 balls, no strikes. Possibly. We shall see. We shall see. 2-0 the count, 2 down here in the top of the 8th inning. 11-4, Madison with the lead.
I can see it. He's a catcher, but a lot of times you see catchers and play first base as well.
The 2-0. Fastball high, 3 balls, no strikes.
And if he gets out of this inning, it'll be the second inning in 3 that they've had 2 men on with nobody out.
1 inning they had second and third with nobody out and did not score.
Yeah.
I believe that came in the 3rd inning.
It actually came on back in the 6th.
Fastball high, ball 4, and that'll load him up.
So Rapp does this job by at least getting on base. And I'll bring up the bottom of the order in Jeff Cardenas, the shortstop. And Cardenas is 0 for 3 in the ballgame. So he's overdue to get something going.
And Wietrich has kind of painted himself into a bigger jam.
Well, he came on with 1 man on and nobody out. Walked a batter, got the next 2 batters out with a fly out and a big strikeout, but now he's walked his 2nd batter in the inning.
And now Cardenas will try to do what Browning did in the 7th. Wietrich's pitch. Fastball striking the outside corner. The count's 0-1.
Ironically, something that the starting pitcher, Dan Schmidt, did not do. He didn't walk anybody in 7 innings.
So 2 walks here in this inning. As Wietrich comes to the belt, kicks and deals. Curveball outside. The count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. A ball, a strike, and 2 down.
So where do you want to work next in terms of the minor league ballparks? I think we've talked a little bit about maybe working down in Indianapolis at Victory Field.
Victory Field, yeah. Curveball striking the inside corner. The count's 1-2.
That could be fun.
That will be a great one for us to hit.
Yeah.
That'll be a great one for us to hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down.
Well, there's a couple other ballparks out there.
Yeah.
You know, Peoria.
We gotta get that one.
Down in Normal.
The 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Wow.
They've left 5 men on base in 2 of the last 3 innings.
And that was the filthiest breaking pitch of the weekend. Wow. No runs, a hit, no errors, 3 left. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. Madison 11, Kankakee 4. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg, and it's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, and it's driven by Sowers Ford.
And we got
At U.S. Tire and Automotive, you'll find passenger tires, performance tires, truck and SUV tires, and more from proven brands including Bridgestone, Firestone, and other leading industry names. Conveniently located in Gary, Indiana, and providing great service to customers in Gary, Griffith, Hammond, Munster, and Highland, Indiana, U.S. Tire and Automotive offers brake service, alignments, oil changes, shocks and struts, tune-ups, and other valuable services to get your car, truck, minivan, or SUV back on the road. Give us a call at 219-884-4600 or drop us an email at info@ustire-auto.com. Mention this ad and receive a 10% discount on auto work or ask about our tire specials. U.S. Tire and Auto, servicing Gary, Indiana and Northwest Indiana since 1991.
We have another pitching change presented by U.S. Tire and Auto. Who's in this time, Mark?
It will be Henry Garrettson, the 5'9" freshman out of Gilman, Illinois, left-handed throwing relief pitcher. Garrettson will be coming in with a record of 4-1. This will be his 22nd appearance, at least coming into the tournament. 26 innings pitched, 18 hits, 8 runs given up, 6 of which are earned. He's walked 15 and struck out 15. And teams are hitting 208 against him.
Uh-huh.
So he's getting good job in terms of earned run average.
Well, we start at the bottom of the 8th. And Dylan Dennert will start things off against Henry Garrettson. The pitch is going inside for ball 1.
Well, you know,
come on, you know it's too obvious.
And also, too, I mean, we are at that point where it is not inconceivable that if they get 3 runs, we would have the mercy rule.
Actually, no.
Oh, you have to go all 9.
Mercy rule does not apply in this case.
Okay, I thought it did.
Have to unless it's a clincher, okay. in which case this would be for Madison. Got to play the distance. The pitch, fastball strike right down the middle.
Well, in this case, I sit corrected.
Hey, I had to sit corrected when I did it with South Suburban 2 years ago, so we're even. 1-1, low, scooped up beautifully. The count's 2-1. Bill Smith, want to say thank you to you, also to Tim McKinney, my partner Mark Farina, Eric Gustafson. I can't believe I said Garrettson. Doggone it. The 2-1, bouncing ball back to Garrettson. He takes his time and throws to first, 1 down in the 8th.
So Dietert is retired for the 3rd time in the ballgame.
Still don't know what a Dietert is, but oh well.
Everybody has a hit in this game. The only guy that does not have a hit is Brandon Gibbons. He's been on base a couple times.
Well, he doesn't have
hit batter.
Well, he doesn't have to have a hit. We can excuse that. He's been on base.
Thinking as I scroll down, looking at the lineup, everybody else has a hit.
Science steps in and takes a strike on the outside corner, and the count's 0-1.
That's efficiency, and that's why they got 11 runs on the board.
And that's why they also have 13 hits. 1 strike the count. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball 1.5 foot outside.
I'll do my Lou Boudreaux. And youngsters, that's how you want to play the game, is a team, all of you contributing to the cause.
I love Lou Boudreaux.
The Hall of Famer, Lou Boudreaux from Harvey, Illinois. Thornton High School, University of Illinois.
Thornton Wildcats. The 0-2,
and of course,
outside.
A pretty nice career as a player and a player manager.
Where did he go to college again?
University of Illinois. Played basketball and baseball.
Okay.
And, of course, with the Cleveland Indians.
Yes.
I got to see his monument there in Cleveland.
The 1-2 is outside, 2-2.
They got that, like, monument section out near
We talked about this.
Center field.
We talked about this earlier in our baseball season, but Tom Hamilton had a great experience earlier in the spring, bouncing ball foul up the first baseline. Right. Tom Hamilton, of course, to anyone who follows broadcasting, the fabulous voice of the Cleveland Indians, the radio voice of the Cleveland Indians, got to see his son, Nick Hamilton, play in a spring training game. Swing and a miss by Signs. McLaughlin tosses to first, 2 up, 2 down in the 8th inning. So, Tom Hamilton had tears in his eyes when he saw his son Nick Hamilton batting, and we saw Nick Hamilton at Kent State.
Yeah, that's right. When they
in that marathon,
that improbable Kent State run to the College World Series, when really started the spark was when they won that 22 inning 6-hour marathon over Kentucky, over at the Steel Yard in Gary.
Sam Hurt takes a strike, counts even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Want to thank all of us that followed us on Twitter throughout the course of the weekend, all the fans that have tuned in. Next one, outside.
Well, it's been fun bringing it to you.
Man, has it ever. It's been a challenge, though. We've had our challenges, but you know what? We'll take them all as we get better. Next one's a strike in the outside corner that'll even account at 2-2.
Thank you for your patience during some of these technical issues, some of which were a little bit on the puzzling side.
Believe me, folks, Mark got in my ear about all of it, but we got it all together. Here's a line drive headed toward right, dropping fast. That'll drop for a base hit.
Those are the kind of base hits that always
drive you nuts.
Because it just seems like the outfielder gives up on the ball. He drops like a foot
and you
in front of him.
Want
it's not like he was running all the way in and dropped a foot in front of him, but he's kind of strolling over there and lets the ball drop in. That could open up the floodgates to more runs, even though there's 2 out, of course. We've seen that. We talked about that all the time when we see that kind of base hit drop in where the outfielder kind of gives it up. He could have ended the inning right there if he hustled a little bit more.
Mike Jordan now stands in.
Mind you, it's easy for us to say that up here in the press box and not out in the field, but that's
in the sun.
But that's our job, to critique that type of play.
But also for us to realize that there may be other circumstances. Here's a wicked shot up the middle. Garrettson able to get to it, toss to first in time, and that will take care of that. Well, folks,
we go to the money frame.
Yes, indeed. Last chance for Kankakee. They're down 11-4 as we head to the money frame. You're listening to the 2014 NJCAA Region 4 World Series qualifier from Boomer Stadium in Schaumburg. It's exclusively on the Arena Sports Network, driven by Sowers Ford.
When your vehicle needs service, look no further than Sowers Ford, a Ford dealer like no other. Our state-of-the-art service department is fully staffed with certified technicians who can handle anything from routine maintenance to the most difficult diesel repair. Brakes, tires, and batteries. Sowers Ford service has it all. Sowers Ford, serving Michigan City and surrounding communities. Sowers Ford Lincoln, 3930 Franklin, Michigan City, 219-879-5381, or visit us at SowersFord.com.